fantastic, and in the Spider-Verse movies, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the Lego movie, and even a little bit here and there in 21 Jump Street. I mean, that's mainly comedy, but there are some moments that focus on Jonah and Channing's friendship.
No, I agree. Like, to go into a movie like Project Hail Mary, you think it's more visual, and it really is about the story, but how much comedy was in it? I probably laughed out loud 10 or 15 times. I mean, it was just a great dynamic.
Did you tear up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what I got way too emotionally invested in certain characters, but it had every emotion that you want in a film, and it's great for the entire family. Like, I don't know anybody that, like, I think you liked it, you didn't love it, but I don't know anybody.
I thought it was good.
Yeah. I think most people at worst would think it's good. So, like, I don't think that there's anybody out there that'd be like, man, that was not a good movie. I think everybody would like the movie.
Oh, yeah. It's a true 4-quadrant movie. It is hitting every demographic you want it to hit.
Yeah, and for the people that said Ryan Gosling can't carry a movie, he carries the hell out of this one.
He does.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do I have? I've got a new addition to Peacock. They have added a bunch of Tarantino movies, including Jackie Brown, which is one of my favorites. It doesn't really get talked about as much, but I think it's really solid.
Me too. I loved it when they started doing promotional things to save the basketball team. Oh, is that
Jackie Moon.
That's Jackie Moon from Semi-Pro.
Jackie Moon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jackie Brown is about a flight attendant who's bringing in money for an arms runner.
Yeah, so it's based on Rum Punch. Elmore Leonard did a lot of crime and had like really good comedy with it. So it's based on that book. That's one of those movies I saw on Christmas. Like, I can remember almost every movie I've seen on Christmas, and ironically, 2 are Tarantino, because one was Django and then one was Jackie Brown. But I've probably seen 7 or 8 movies on Christmas, and those are 2 of them.
Yep, I think it's great. Got Michael Keaton. You've got Robert Forster,
Robert De Niro, Bridget Fonda, Samuel L. Jackson, Chris Rock,
Pam Grier.
You got a massive cast.
Yep. Prime has added One Battle After Another, which we briefly talked about just now. One Best Picture, I think it's solid.
Yeah, I agree.
I wasn't as crazy about it as other people, but I still think it's a good movie.
Yeah, I thought that I would like it a lot more. I give it a good solid B, but I thought going in, this is going to be an A+. I've seen it twice, too, but I thought it was good, but not as much hype as it deserved, in my opinion.
I agree. And then finally on viewing menu, over the weekend I went to see the Mandalorian movie. I had a really fun time watching it, and so I think I'm going to go on Disney Plus this week and watch Andor, which has been recommended to me a lot. It's the story of the rebel spy Cassian Andor's formative years of the rebellion and his difficult missions for the cause. It stars Diego Luna from Narcos Mexico, and also has Stellan Skarsgård. So great actors in that. And that's all I got.
That's what Tyler's watching, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. When we come back, Greg Sankey on football as a tournament sport. He has a thought about that and a lot more from the SEC meetings as they move to day 2 of 3 or 4 days down in Destin. The spring meetings that has become bigger and bigger with all the changes.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
College baseball NCAA tournament starts today in regionals in Tuscaloosa and Auburn. We'll give you a little snip of that later on. Alabama softball rallies last night, beating UCLA at their own game with a couple of home runs. We'll get reaction from Patrick Murphy on Alabama advancing in the winner's bracket, the Women's College World Series. Wemby was Wemby last night. We got a Game 7 coming up Saturday night in the NBA. We'll talk all college football. But the best thing we can start with today, and listen, I'm as SEC as the SEC goes. I should have an SEC logo tattooed somewhere in my body. I love the SEC.
Could be a trademark violation.
But if you are Steve Sarkisian, especially in a state like Texas, Texas Tech's Cody Campbell and their head coach Joey McGuire has walked into the saloon, up to the bar, and just knocked your cowboy hat off and called you out in the street. Steve Sarkisian especially in a state like Texas, you got to take Texas Tech up on this offer.
I think you have to. I don't think they will because I think he's yella. If we're going to go
Yella.
yeah. They don't call it yellow. He's yella.
He's a yellow fella.
Yeah, I really think he is. Like, Sark wants nothing to do with this, and I think there's probably power brokers behind the scenes. It's probably split. There's some, like, if I'm a Texas guy, I'm like, I don't care what you guys have to do. Like, I'm going to give everybody on this team $50,000 cash to go out there and whip their dick.
Yeah, if they win, they win. If you missed the story, Sark said a few weeks ago, talked about there's a school in our state, and he trashed Texas Tech's schedule. And then Cody Campbell and Joey McGuire yesterday, they both came out. Here's the Cody Campbell tweet. Cody Campbell says, "Hey, man, we'll pay the buyout for both Abilene Christian and Texas State.
I love it.
Let's go, Coach Sark," and Del Conte, the AD, Chris Del Conte. Joey McGuire on Steve Sarkisian's comments alluding to Texas Tech's schedule. They'd love to play him. In fact, here's Joey McGuire at the big as you watch this, listen, but watch Rich Rodriguez. That's who's on the right of your screen. Rich Rodriguez, head coach, West Virginia. I mean, Big 12. I mean,
what a Bush League setup.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't have everybody with their own mic,
how pixelated is this?
One at a time.
It's like the Over the Mountain Journal doing a signing day at Briarwood High School.
It's exactly the way high school media days used to be in Birmingham. Yeah. When we'd go down for the city schools media days, they would put coaches and players, different team coaches up on the table at the same time.
There you go. Huffman, Vestavia.
Yeah, very
Pelham,
1990s.
I was thinking like a city council meeting. That's what it looks like. That was streamed on Facebook.
So West Virginia coach Rich Rodriguez is sitting right next to Joey McGuire when Joey McGuire says, "Yeah, I'd love to play Texas." Watch Rich's face, by the way.
And I said, there's no way they're talking about us, because Sark's a pretty tough guy. His teams are really tough, and I would think that if he was talking about us, that he would call us out. Like, he wouldn't just say, just kind of this comment of, well, there's another team in our state. And so I guess he was talking about us. So I've actually talked to Keith Patterson and I've talked to G.J. Kinney, and they're willing to take our games, and Abilene Christian will go to Texas State. We'll buy our contract out of Abilene Christian. I'm sure, because Texas has got a lot of money, they can buy their contract out. But I do know there's a lot of Red Raiders that will help them buy that contract out if they don't want to. And they can come to Lubbock week 1. And, we can figure out if their 2s and 3s can win this conference. And I know a lot of people are going to say a lot of stuff about me or about us. We didn't score in the playoffs. That's obvious. You can take a shot at us for that. We didn't score in the playoffs. The last time we played Texas, we got beat 57-7, and he played some of his 2s and 3s. They kicked the crap out of us. But, I know he feels really good about his team if he's making those comments. And, man, we would love to play the University of Texas week 1 in Lubbock. I do know that Cody Campbell reached out to Stephen Jones, so they don't want to come to Lubbock, and we're going to work on trying to get AT&T week 1. So if they want to play week 1, then we're ready. We would love to play the University of Texas.
Yeah.
And you have been called out.
I mean, the most public way possible,
Yeah,
too.
I love it.
But why not go to Austin? Just, suit up and go to
No,
Austin.
the suggestion of playing at AT&T Stadium is
that's
a
fine,
fair
too.
suggestion.
Yeah,
that's
it
fine.
would sound very one-sided if you're like, hey, we're going to come to Lubbock. You come to Lubbock. But when we reached out to Stephen Jones.
I'll
I'll
guarantee this, Cody. And when this Cody Campbell guy came on the scene, y'all know I said I'm in love with this guy. This guy is who you want. He is like a Friday Night Lights character with $4 billion. That's what this guy is.
He has said, I will pay the Texas side of the buyout.
Yeah, and I bet you anything, Cody Campbell will put the money up. Texas, what do you lose for a home game? You just give me the number. What's your number for a home game? I'll put it up if you'll meet us. If you'll meet us in Dallas.
Written the proverbial check that his ass can't cash.
Yes,
a couple of times. I think Pete Golding said it. His comments about basketball, even Golding spun it perfectly. That helps us in recruiting. We talked about that yesterday, and I started off saying this: if you're Sark, if you're Texas, especially in that state, this is a game. I think you have to do this. You really do. And I know we're 92 days. It would be 99 days away from this game. But that's plenty of time.
Here's the chances this game happens.
Yeah, no, it's a zero.
It's zero.
And it's all on Texas
which
side.
sucks. Yeah, because Sark, I'm almost to the point he's never going to win a national championship at Texas. But this could be part of the legacy. Like, okay, you want us to play, and then Texas goes out there and rolls them.
Oh, it'd be so much fun.
He would be immortalized in Texas lore. Now, they go out and lose. That's why he would never do it. Yeah. I'm calling he's yellow.
But I would tell you this, man. You got a coach and a booster that doesn't have their QB1 right now, too, and they're talking like this. If I'm Sark and I'm Texas, I'd take this right now, man. I'd do this, and I know you got Ohio State right there. After we know what everybody does with their schedule. When you're able to do it, you take a bye before a big game, or you have a lesser opponent unless your conference forces something different. I understand not wanting to play a really tough team before you play, maybe the best team in the country, Ohio State. Definitely one of the contenders for a national championship with you. But at this point, especially in that state, you got to do this.
I understand what you're saying, and all that you're saying is true. But you literally said with your own mouth you could win that conference with your 2s and 3s. So how tough an opponent do you think this is if you're Steve Sarkisian?
Yeah, I would lean Texas Tech would win this game. Just
I
really would. I've seen a lot of bar fights in my day, and the guy that starts the bar fight 75-80% of the time gets his ass whipped. Texas has started this bar fight.
Yeah, I still think Texas is probably a better football team this year than Texas Tech is. Last year Texas versus last year Texas Tech, different story.
Let me ask you this, Jimmy, SEC, who would you pull for?
I would pull for Texas.
They're not new. They're too new in the SEC. I think I'd go Texas Tech.
I'd be all.
I would be too. I'd be guns up.
Oh God, that would be incredible.
I'd be like that Texas judge. I'd be guns up.
I would think 90% of the people would pull for Texas Tech. You'd have to.
At some point you got to defend the flag of the SEC. And
they're barely SEC.
Yeah. They're chasing money, man.
If this were Ole Miss, if this were a charter member, I'm with you. I'd go SEC. But Texas, the way Texas likes to run their mouth and try to run things.
Sark, he's going to be viewed as a guy with no spine, like backing up the comments.
Yeah.
I wasn't, basket weaving. I wasn't talking, and now, like, how's he going to get out of this? What's he going to say? Our schedule's way too difficult. One of the points I was proving is you play in the Big 12, they play an awful schedule.
Yeah. Here, one other thing, and this is egg on your face too. This is forcing an issue, and we're going to talk bigger about this subject later on. So let's don't get into the cancellations of games. This is focused on Texas Tech not being afraid to call Texas out. Joey McGuire and Cody Campbell have also said publicly now that if Texas cancels their 2028-2029 game with Notre Dame, that series, we would love to pick that up, Notre Dame. We're publicly saying that if Texas, because the SEC has gone to 9 games, they don't want to play the Notre Dame series. And they've hinted that it's a tentatively scheduled series now. More on that later. But Texas Tech has come out and said, listen, if Texas runs away from you, Notre Dame, we'll take that series. We'll do a home and home with you. That, of course, is big. Anybody takes Notre Dame home and home. It's a cash cow for you both ways. But Texas Tech has said, man, we'll play Notre Dame. Come on. We'll take Notre Dame. I like that too. If
Texas
that's another shot at Texas, because that's Texas's game that they may be buying out of or opting out of in 28-29. And here's Cody Campbell and Joey McGuire saying, we'll slide right in. You don't have to worry about it, man. We'll do another Texas score.
Yeah, and I would tell Marcus Freeman, hey, instead of losing to Northern Illinois or Marshall, it would be a better loss, right?
That's true. Yeah, if you're going to lose one, lose to a playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, we know this is never going to happen. I do think Texas Tech really wants these games. This is easy pub for them, knowing these games will never be played, calling these guys out. But I do think they want them.
I mean, I feel like, and there's some of this in the chat room too, this sentiment in the chat room. So I'm going to be careful how I word this. I was recently asked to do something that I didn't want to do. And I knew that if I delayed the text response long enough, I wouldn't have to do it. But if I delayed it long enough and then responded, I would win on both sides. I would get the response of, oh, yeah, I'll do that. And then also get the, oh, man, I'm so sorry. I needed, a response 2 hours ago. Whatever. Do you follow what I'm saying?
You don't want to tell us the whole story?
I don't really know. So I won on both sides. I got to give the text response and make it look like I was willing to help out, but I didn't really have to do it. So I won. That's what Texas Tech is doing here. They know Texas will not do this and probably can't do it. They know that. So that's the other side of this, is I get to flex and beat my chest knowing.
Why do you think they can't do it? Because of the contracts with other schools?
No. Well, I mean, apparently, according to Joey McGuire, Texas State's okay with this. That's the one you would worry about. Is Texas State is the one that's on Texas schedule.
I'm sure they are. Texas State's like, give us a bye that week. We sit back and watch.
Abilene Christian. They would play Abilene Christian.
Yeah. They'd play an Abilene Christian. That's the easy one for Texas Tech. It's in their contract that you could buy it out. Texas State's the tougher one because it's in Texas contract. But if Texas State has said, if we get the home game, we're cool with it. If you give us the money, then there's really nothing blocking it there. The reason I say Texas can do it is because of what Jim said. If you're out of conferences, Texas Tech, Ohio State, and you got to play a conference schedule, that is not exactly a path to the playoffs. So
you are admitting that there's a chance you lose the game.
100%.
Yeah.
You don't. If Sark thought that they would beat them 60-0, he'd do this today because he'd look like the winner in all of this.
Well, they may win the game, whatever the score is to 0 or whatever the score is to 10. But the concern would be, okay, is the Ohio State game week 2? Is it?
Yeah.
Or is it week 3?
Week 3.
It's week 2.
Is it week 2?
Yeah, week 2.
UTSA is week 3 for Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's okay. Now, what does it do to me at home against Ohio State?
That's why I'm saying they can't do it. Yeah. So I mean, when you look at their schedule right there, imagine that schedule. Starting with
you throw Texas Tech,
Tech, Ohio State, you get a breather against UTSA, then you got Tennessee, then you got a bye week, then you got the Red River. Man, that would be a pretty challenging start. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
No, but I think that's the kind of schedule 9-3 gets you in the college football playoff. I do.
Boy, you're rolling the dice. I mean, I'm with you. You've got a strong enough schedule.
But if you're going to call them out, Sark was the one that started this whole thing.
He did. No, absolutely he did. As you said, he wrote a check he can't cash now, and it's created a problem for
I would
Chris
lose.
Ocasio, but
I lose a ton of respect for him if I'm a Texas fan.
I will give you time to think about this if you want. Dunaway, you love playing the PR game, telling people how to do PR?
Yeah. Well, I've started off by telling you what Texas has to do to win the PR game here. They've got to play the game.
They got to play the game.
Yeah.
All right, but they're not going to do it.
Especially in that state.
I'm with Lance. They're not going to do it.
Texas Tech has the one named billionaire. Texas has, and I know Texas Tech has more of those people too.
Oh, Texas has got a guy that's worth
Texas
the same as Cody Campbell.
As an infantry full of those type people.
That's right. They've got,
and at some point, those guys have to say, "Hey,
you know what this reminds me of?
I'm not going to let this.
It reminds me of a really good boxing matchup where somebody calls somebody out, and we always wanted to see at their prime Pacquiao and Mayweather, and we never really got to see it at the prime. Well, everybody was like, Mayweather's ducking, and there might have been a little bit of that, but
it was true.
There were a lot of layers with different, belt affiliations, different fights that were already set up. I mean, contractually. Yeah. There were much more layers in that situation than this.
Who was your old character that always had a cigar and a glass of bourbon? Yeah. Shooter or something?
I can't remember his name.
But he was a Texas billionaire. Yeah. And you're right. They've got plenty of those that...
Those are the guys that right now should be in Chris Del Conte's phone saying, hey, let's do this. I know. And Sark may not want it. If Sark doesn't want it, that's fine. He's not our guy.
That's right.
If he's going to be our
gonna
guy,
back down from a fight,
this is what we have to do in Texas.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that.
No, I seriously, if this becomes a point, and I don't know if it'll ever even get to this, but if you've got some power brokers inside that university that want this game to happen, and Sark ultimately is the guy that doesn't want it to happen, and they go 9-3 again, and they miss the playoffs, they're going to start talking about a buyout.
Yeah. Buckshot Wilson was, Daniel says that was the name of your character, but I can see a Buckshot calling Sark today saying, "You the one that started this. We going to finish it, though.
Yeah.
You started it, you go finish it, Sark. We doing this."
But do you not agree that the leash gets shorter?
Yeah. What do you mean get shorter?
I'm talking about with the Texas fans and the Texas boosters.
If the boosters say go play this game and Sark shrinks from it.
And then you're not winning championships or you miss the playoffs.
No, I would agree. I mean, you're
not playing this game because you're afraid of missing the playoffs.
You do have a lot of egos involved in this that have a ton of money. And Cody Campbell, I'm just gonna say, and I don't know this to be factual, but you know how much I love Cody Campbell, right? I'm gonna say Cody Campbell's probably new money. You think he's probably new money?
Probably so. I mean,
it's
$4
billion
worth
of new
Texas
money.
Tech, and he's now a billionaire. Yes.
Yeah, $4 billion worth of new money. You got a lot of old money, old Texas guys, and they probably already looked down their nose at Cody Campbell's $4 billion because he ain't old money like they are. Well, and they do not want that guy to have one up on them.
This is laughable. I'm not a shot at Alex Mortensen. I know he's trying to build something at UAB. But if UAB called out Alabama like this and UAB was in a situation like Texas Tech, what do you think Alabama fans would want to do? They'd want to go out there and stomp their guts in. So I think Texas fans, this is probably playing all over from Houston to Dallas to San Antonio today with Texas fans saying, let's play this game. Let's play this game.
In the SEC, in the normal footprint, it's Paul, we can't let them say that about us. We got to go play the game. Out there, it's Johnny Paul, we can't let them say this about us. We got to go win the game.
Yeah, we ain't gonna take second chair to Texas.
How do you guys think Sark responds?
Well, that
to
was
this?
gonna be my question. You like to play the PR game. You're Sark. Next time you're behind a microphone, whether it's SEC Media Days, I don't know. Next time Sark has a media availability, I'll be the reporter. Coach. Cody Campbell, the Texas Tech Super Booster, and Joey McGuire said they were willing to play you. They'll pay all the buyouts. They'll play at neutral site. They'll play it in Lubbock. You said you could win the conference through their 2s and 3s. If they will pay the buyouts and everyone agrees to it, are you willing to play this game?
That's above my pay grade, man. That's,
what a weak answer.
That is up to Chris Del Conte and the Board of Trustees, the regents. I mean, what else can you say? What else?
You might have to let me bust away from if we are in Tampa for whatever reason and Sark is on the podium at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I'll go ask the direct question.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think he'll be asked before that. He'll have some sort of media availability before that.
Our friends Alexander Shinara brings you part of the show. One more guy who obviously got told that maybe they need to clean things up at his school by the SEC principal. We'll talk about that after Brownie tells us about Alexander Shinara trial attorneys. Shinara.com.
That is the place to go for any legal need you have. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shinara trial attorneys. And boy, do they win cases. More than $2 billion recovered for their clients. And that is a lot of money, man. $2 billion. And Alexander Shinara has been doing this for 25 years now, so he knows what he is doing, and so do his attorneys. 150 dedicated attorneys, more than 500 team members they've built, and they've built it right here in his hometown of Birmingham, Alabama. That's where he wanted to build his firm. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Shinara.com. Shinara.com.
I had a meeting yesterday afternoon, and kind of walking into the parking lot, the guy I was meeting with was like, man, that is a really, really cool Land Cruiser. Do you like it? I'm like, absolutely. Apparently you don't listen to the show enough because I talk about the Land Cruiser at least once every single day. If you're looking for reliability, safety, something that's going to hold its value, Toyota is the definition of that. Get in, see our friends, Hoover Toyota, located at Highway 150 right there. Beautiful location. They've been serving Birmingham for over 20 years, perfecting the art of customer service with that red carpet program. They're going to roll it out for you because they want to keep you as a customer for life. Not only the incredible inventory, the great customer service, but the on-site finance department as well. Get in, see Scott, Harold, Kim, all the fine folks there. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information and to view that inventory, HooverToyota.com.
Somebody got called to the principal's office in Destin and had to talk to Greg Sankey. It has to be old Verge Osbury at LSU. because Lane Kiffin's been talking. Will Wade, all the LSU folks have been talking. Verge Osbury, as the SEC meetings in Destin wrapped up, to Heather Dinich, quote, "Listen, it's not about the other place you were at before the other schools in this conference. In the SEC, we have to be one. Every other organization from NASCAR to the NFL, they're one. We fight each other on the fields, Saturday nights, basketball games, baseball, track and field. That's when we compete. After that, this is one. When you start breaking up and doing our own things, that hurts our conference." Verge saying, we need to, it's not about where you were before, Lane. You got to stop talking about Ole Miss. It's about LSU now, and we got to be one in this conference.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I'm more on a professional basis. Hey, look, check yourself on some of the comments you're making about Ole Miss. Let's focus on us. I've never been about, hey, let's fly the flag for the whole conference. I mean, people are pulling other people's players over. They're tampering nonstop. They're pulling coaches over. So there's not solidarity when it comes to the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably further from one than it's ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, as Lance said, coaches jumping to rivals. The transfer portal is just it's a carousel in the SEC.
My point being, though, that this is the athletic director from
I
Lane
know.
Kiffin who just had a meeting with Greg Sankey down in Destin, and this is his takeaway point. He's coming out. Greg Sankey has said, we got to stop all of this infighting.
And I appreciate Greg trying to do that. I guess my point is Greg is fighting an uphill battle that he'll never win on that one, but it is interesting that it's gotten to the point that it appears. Are there reports this happened, or you're just saying
No,
I'm reading this and it's obvious?
You read this comment from the, I guess this is his first year as the
I think so.
full-time athletic
He replaced
director.
Woodward.
Yeah. Coming out, and hey, it's not about where you've been. We got to talk about our school and LSU. The Ole Miss stuff, because you guys have talked about it on the show this week, that at some point he's got to stop talking about Ole Miss and start worrying about LSU.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe he pulls back a little bit on the Ole Miss talk, but, I mean, this is the old ageless, timeless story of the scorpion and the frog.
Yep.
I mean, Lane Kiffin's a scorpion, and he's not going to change.
He is
Impossible.
not. Yeah, I mean, Verge Osbury.
Impossible.
That's the thing. Sankey could say all this he wants to Osbury. Osbury could say all he wants to the media about Lane Kiffin, but Lane is Lane. This is the guy you hired. This is the guy you hired. This is marrying, the supermodel when you're a 5, and then you wonder why the supermodel is not real interested in you.
Yeah, she's on the Mediterranean on a yacht.
That's right. And you're like, well, what happened to me? Well, you're a 5. You married the supermodel. You knew what you were getting.
I'll give your thoughts on this, too, since I guess we're tiring a little bit on our SEC conversation coming out of the meetings in Destin. Pete Golding said, I think this was yesterday, maybe it was 2 days ago, that if he gets into trouble about tampering, I'll expose the whole system, was his quote. I'll expose the whole system. What about Pete Golding's comments there?
I mean,
not very altogether SEC like,
not
is it?
very one.
I mean, I don't know. What does that mean? Like, what is the? How long does that take him to expose the entire system?
He makes it sound like he's got as many receipts as Dabo does, but from other coaches, I'm sure it may be from Dabo too. But he'll expose the whole system. If you're gonna get me for tampering, I'll show you how this whole thing works. Pete
I'd probably wait till after the fact, and if they do get him for tampering, hey, you want to know some stuff? Hey, let's sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, I think generally. Can't say that this is always the case, but I would say in general, when somebody's accused of something and they respond to that accusation with a threat, they're probably hiding something, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Clemson's receipts they laid out are pretty. Yeah. I don't think Pete ever denied any of those things. I'm saying, if you're going to get me for this,
right? I'll show.
Are we going to get everybody for this? Because I can show you this, and this. And he's been doing it a long time at several places. It may go deep.
Yeah. I mean, I would be interested, like if Pete Golding said, I am going to do a 2-hour sit-down with Marty Smith and expose the entire system. I'd watch it. I mean, I don't know that Pete might lose me in the first 5 minutes, but I'd watch it. I'd see what he said if he said I was going to blow up the whole system.
Very, very interested to see who he's got on his tongue.
I would imagine it probably starts with Verge Osbury's guy, Lane Kiffin.
I mean, this does not rise to what we saw with Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban.
But boy, you remember how fun that was.
It could get there quickly.
Yeah.
Our friends at Hemphill brings us Lance's Lock every day, lanceslock.com. He'll have thoughts and plays on the NBA Finals when we get to that point, but the Western Conference Game 7 set for Saturday night. Tell us about Lance's Lock.
I am excited about a Game 7 tomorrow night, but I was completely on the wrong side last night. I played Oklahoma City. They've been so good on the road, catching points. Thought we were getting a lot of value, and that 20-0 run in the third quarter absolutely killed them. SDA was off last night. 1-2 last night, so we did have a losing night. We bounced back a ton of Major League Baseball today for you. Jump on board, win with us. Free play every single day as well at lanceslike.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Whether you experience any plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
All right, the show today being brought to you by our friends at Cauchy. Last night in softball, Alabama won, rallied past UCLA. Jocelyn Brisky with 9 strikeouts, 2 home runs she gave up against a team that has over 200 home runs. So holding them, UCLA, to 3 runs was huge. Alex Papillo hit a game-tying home run for Bama. Brooke Wells hit the 3-run homer in the bottom of the 6th. That was the deciding factor in the 6-3 win. Alabama plays Nebraska, 6 o'clock ESPN now tomorrow night in the winners bracket. More losers brackets games going on. You can play that and take those type positions at the Women's World Series over with our friends at Cauchy.
Absolutely. Not only sports with Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals as well tomorrow night, but I saw politics. Gas prices, I saw that being an option yesterday that you could play at Cauchy. When those are going to rise or when they're going to go back to normal. You could take positions on pop culture as well. First thing you got to do is download that app, Cauchy. Once you do that, put in that code TNR. When you trade $10, you get $10 back, bro.
You do. I remember you telling me one time, Lance, like you used to love college baseball when you were growing up, but you couldn't find a place to take a position on it. How far we've come. You can take a position on any of these games that are being played today at Cauchy. Milwaukee and Auburn. Auburn is 90%. Milwaukee is 10%. I am stunned. Somebody has taken a position on Milwaukee as one of the worst teams.
Put that in the sports mode. Can you do that real quick? Switch it over.
Yeah, no, I cannot do it real quick.
I was about to say, are they minus 400?
Yeah, something like that. You could play that right there at Cauchy. And as Lance said, $10 with code TNR on your first $10 position. And your first $10 position gets you $10 when you use code TNR. That helps us. It helps you as well with our friends at Cauchy, Cauchy.com, and the Cauchy app.
For what Forrester is showing on the screen, there's the Alabama regional in Tuscaloosa where they start baseball today. Alabama is a 50% at Cauchy right now over the Oklahoma State Cowboys at 37%. That's to win the region. They don't play each other today. Back to the Auburn region, where NC State, according to Cauchy, is their biggest challenger. As we were showing you earlier there's Auburn, 74% to get out of their region to the super regional. And the first page you were seeing on the screen there was the college softball champions to win it. Texas Tech, slight favorite right now over Alabama to be the champion, followed there by Nebraska. And then other schools, including Tennessee, Texas, and Arkansas. And the losers bracket continues there, so you can play all of that with our friends at Cauchy. I will tell you that Jason Williams' daughter, Mia, who got hit 7 times in the Florida best-of-3 series, first time at the plate, got hit again in the Mississippi State-Texas Tech game. The next batter hit it over the fence, a 2-run home run, but she apparently not afraid to crowd the plate.
I was about to say, is she up on it? I mean, I've never seen her an at-bat. I don't know if you guys have.
She is tight on there, but just the scouting report on her is if you get it out mid-plate or out, she knocks it over the fence. So you have to pitch her mid-in, and she gets hit a lot. I mean, did she get hit a lot more at Florida because she used to play for them?
Probably so.
Probably so.
But you had an excuse?
But she got hit yesterday as well, Mississippi State, and she or Jason has never been to Starkville probably in a long time. Tennessee beat Texas, and then late night till 11:23 here local time, Nebraska and Arkansas played to the 10th inning, and Nebraska got the win there. Baseball happening today. By the way, one follow-up to the big Dodgers prospect down in Tulsa, Kendall George. I didn't get to this yesterday. It's a patella injury off of his it looked to me like he had injured it rounding third base, but he avoids the bat dog and injures his It looks to be his right patella.
Yeah, which the weird thing is he comes down on his left leg, jumping the dog.
Left leg. It looks like the left leg jams, but
but
that
it's
is
the
very
right,
strange.
It's the right one he comes up gimpy on.
Which is why I thought he had already hurt it running the bases.
Yeah.
But he avoids the dog. He's mad at the dog, and so too is the Dodgers organization and the Tulsa Drillers. The dog has been suspended.
Are they banning dogs on field now?
They're not going to do the not everywhere. There's still other ones, but Bad Dog has been suspended. The Tulsa Drillers will no longer.
Hang in there, little man. This is A&M and LSU going 7 overtimes, and we immediately change the overtime rules.
Do you think the dog knows he's suspended?
Well,
he will.
I think what you do is you send him down to single A Charleston.
That's right. Let him fetch bats
Well,
there.
do it like the big leagues.
See if he can do it without getting somebody hurt there.
Bullet and Chili are getting created tonight. They made a mistake last night.
That's the way it
because of
does.
this bad weather. They don't like going out in it, so they're going to get created tonight. So
this kid this dog might be created.
And they'll know.
They'll know. They'll bounce back tomorrow night.
Yeah. Another thing that Forrester have, I don't know, Forrester, do you have the Blue Origin thing video?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is wild.
Forrester, I saw it last night, and then Forrester brought it to me, and I was like, that's not real. That's AI.
It's real, and it's spectacular.
There's no explosion that's going to look like this unless it is a nuclear weapon. But look at that explosion.
Boy, how far away do you think people heard that?
Yeah, but how far away is that camera, first off?
Oh, it's a long way away.
I mean, that's at least a mile away.
Look at the water start spraying out right away. Like, buddy, you ain't got a shot at putting that fire out.
I'm surprised some directors, Hollywood studio didn't pay for that kind of explosion.
Yeah. But Forrester, are you telling me 0 people injured in this?
That's what they say. I mean, how far does the closest person have to be away from this to not get injured?
I'm going to say 3 miles.
I don't know about that far, but a long way.
I mean,
that blast radius is crazy.
Yeah, a lot of shrapnel coming.
I mean, you tell me, Forrester, how far is that camera shot? Brooks, you too. You used to work in the business.
3 miles.
I'll go 2 miles.
I mean, but it's
a long
more
way
than
away.
a mile.
Oh,
yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd be a lot tighter shot. I mean, if you imagine how tall that would be standing next to it and how far away they are. So.
And it was just a test rocket. That's why, thank God, nobody was sitting on top of that thing.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dunaway. Like, if I just saw this and didn't have any background on it, I'd be like, it's AI. Like, I just tend to lean everything is AI now.
And I said to Forrester, if that's real, then what's in it? What was in it? Because, I mean, I know there's rocket
incriminating
fuel.
information?
There's rocket fuel. No, I'm just saying, did we have some kind of weapon that the Space Force is using? We're launching that up there and just in case, because that's a lot.
I mean, I guess it's a full tank of rocket fuel. I mean, they say that's if a plane crashes after taking off, that it's way more explosive than it would be if it crashed when it landed.
Yeah,
well, that's a remarkable video, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I hope reports are correct that 0 people were injured in that.
I do know it was a test flight, or at least that's the way it was scheduled. But, I mean, keep in mind, Blue Origin, based in our state here, they got a lot of people working up in the rocket city of Huntsville. Even when we went to the moon, man, we had to go through some of this right here just to get to the moon. If you believe we went to the moon, we had to work through some of this right here before we could put people on top of it and send them up into space, Yeah. Now,
imagine being the human.
That's what I was about to say. Now, I don't want to be Group A. We're the first ones, and then you watch this, I'd kind of rather somebody.
This is why there seems, and I know there's probably, it's kind of like the plane crash. If you've never flown before, those get sensationalized. But this is one of the reasons I would never want to go in space.
Yeah.
And it's probably, 1 out of the odds are probably a lot worse.
Well, I mean, it's a lot easier now for regular humans like you and I to get into space too.
It is.
No desire.
I'd rather bat cleanup. Like, if I were supposed to be lead off on top of the Blue Origin rocket and then see that, I'm like, yeah, I'll back clean up. Let's let somebody else take a ride.
Johnston RV gets us back to college football. Todd Fuhrman coming up at the top. We'll talk to him, I assume, about the NBA and some other things that are going on in sports. Tell us about Johnston RV.
I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online at johnstonrvcenter.com. They have got the fifth wheels that will send you across America to see the great parts of our great country. Fifth Wheels are red hot right now. They got a great selection of them. But if that is not your thing, they also have more than 300 other types of RVs at Johnston RV Center. You can see them all, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and online at johnstonrvcenter.com. And everything you get there, new or qualifying pre-owned, is covered by a warranty from RV Warranty Forever at Johnston RV Center. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and johnstonrvcenter.com.
I'm concerned about college football scheduling because Chris Del Conte, the Texas athletic director, at the SEC meetings was asked about the future of the Notre Dame series they have coming up in 2028 and 2029, and he used the word, it is still tentatively scheduled. This comes now with a number of teams, not just SEC teams, but a number of teams dropping games. This week we lost Oregon and Baylor for 2027. Oregon replaced them with Coastal Carolina, so it's not just an SEC thing. But with the SEC going to 9 conference games, South Carolina and North Carolina decided not to play. South Carolina and Miami decided not to play. That's 2 ACC teams. They too went from 8 to 9. We lost Georgia and Louisville, and Georgia and Florida State. Again, SEC and ACC dumped that. Alabama, they dumped Oklahoma State but kept Ohio State. And, it was a choice. They were going to keep either Ohio State or Oklahoma State, so hats off to Greg Byrne in Alabama for keeping the Ohio State one and dumping Oklahoma State. I'm concerned, though, where we're going, Lance, that we're going to start dumping some of these big out-of-conference games that we were getting so good at scheduling.
Well, I've been very, very vocal on if I was one of these coaches, there's no chance I would schedule these games. And, again, we've used Texas as the example. If they didn't play the Ohio State game last year, they're in the college football playoff. Now, with that said, and I do think the Alabama-Ohio State home and home is the outlier because I think more and more programs are going to dump this, but because of Sark running his mouth, he has put Del Conte in a really, really precarious situation because, if I'm a Texas fan, it just even looks worse now after the comments of Texas Tech challenging you, and then you're going to drop the Notre Dame. I mean, the timing couldn't be worse on this, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right about that. And the decision was, I'm sure, on this Notre Dame thing way before Sark said anything. But you're right, the timing is awful because of when Del Conte had to answer this question.
And again, I don't blame him for dropping it. I wouldn't play Notre Dame if I've had Texas' schedule, but
to Greg Byrne in Ohio State and Alabama. Alabama's going to play 9 challenging games. They don't have a mandated out-of-conference opponent like Georgia does with Georgia Tech and Florida does with Florida State. But
do you guys think that's calculated, though, that there is a possibility we have a 2014 playoff? And if you have a 2014 playoff, then people will start playing these games again.
You hope so. But then how much does it matter at that point? But you hope they do. I was going to bring up that Ohio State's athletic director, who I think is Ross Bjork now, right?
It is.
Remember, we did the story on the show. He said, right now the Alabama game is still scheduled. As far as we're concerned, we're going to play that game. They said that first.
Yeah, and then
so that makes it it puts a little it makes it tougher on Alabama to back out at that point.
Yeah, it sounded then as if there was some scuttlebutt that Alabama was going to cancel that one instead of Oak State. So Bjork was going to get out in front of it and say, nope, we're playing it.
Yeah,
we want to play it.
As far as I know, we're still playing it.
So if it does get canceled, everybody knew it was Alabama backing out of it. Now, that did not happen, thankfully, and Bama's going to play it against Ohio State. But this is, to me, Jim, this is a broader issue than just what we're talking about here. And this has been a long-running issue, and perhaps it's something we've done so long that we can't fix it now. I hate it when that's the way we've always done it. That is a terrible excuse for not fixing something. But college football schedules in the single dumbest way possible. It is the dumbest way you can. If you were to say, come up with a way college football could schedule games, this is the dumbest way possible. You do it tons of years in advance. You let the people whose jobs depend the most on winning games schedule it, not the people who have the fans' experience in mind the most. And you do it in silos. You don't do it as a group effort. And it's unhealthy for the game of college football, which I very much love. We do it in the dumbest way possible. TV networks should have far more voice in scheduling college football games. We would have more games like Texas Tech. I know that happened later than the schedule would have come out. But, boy, they sure would be playing next year if they don't this year.
But it would be very different, though, if you had a real metric judging strength of schedule at that point, because if you're just letting ESPN and Fox decide the schedule or having a bigger voice in the schedule, then there are going to be a number of teams that are not attractive on television that are going to play a much easier schedule than the attractive brands that the TV wants. And then you're going to have some teams sneaking into the playoffs that have no business being there until you get the strength of schedule metric somewhere in college football, which they don't really have dialed in yet. Then that could be a problem letting the networks be involved. I understand what you're saying about we're doing it a stupid way.
We are. Dumbest way possible. We used to crown a national champion the dumbest way possible, and we finally fixed that. Can we fix this?
But if you're Notre Dame, for instance, there are only so many games you can play, right?
12.
Yeah, but there's only so many games that you want to play against big brands. So
Right.
teams have
4.
to sort of get in line and play Notre Dame. You know what I mean? If you're Alabama and you want to schedule Notre Dame, if you're Texas, you want to. I understand you have to schedule.
Yeah,
but
but not
maybe,
if we
maybe out in the future.
Right. Yeah, but that's because that's the way we've always done it. If you didn't do it that way, you wouldn't have to wait in line. You know, you would be doing schedules for next year or 2 years in advance or whatever. That's the issue with college football scheduling.
But Auburn's finally getting a chance to play a home and home with Notre Dame.
Right.
If they were not contractually obligated, Auburn may never get to play Notre Dame in a home and home.
Well, I mean, they're playing them now.
I know, because they've scheduled it out in
because
the
that's the way
future.
it's always been done. And Notre Dame's doing all these schedules 10 years in advance. If we had not always done it that way and your schedules were done year to year, Auburn may have played them 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
Or they may never get to play them.
Or they may never get to play them.
There is a long line to play Notre Dame. Now, that line is getting a lot shorter because people don't want to play.
And there's only
that
a handful of
out-of-conference
teams
game.
like that.
Yeah. Real quick.
I think Ohio State's
side point.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Texas Tech and Texas will ultimately play in the college football playoff?
I would love it. I mean, I could see them. The NCAA basketball tournament does this. They claim they don't. But if those two teams are in the group of teams that are playing a home
and
or road,
what would the ratings be for that game?
Tremendous. I mean, seriously. I mean, if they're in that group of teams that we're not going to a bowl game, we're playing either in Lubbock or in Austin, I think it's 100% certainty that's a matchup.
Central State Bank bringing you part of the show today. Tell us about Central State Bank.
Central State Bank is the bank that is big enough to meet every single need you have, but they're small enough to know you. That is because they are a community bank. A community bank is a bank that is run by people that are in your neighborhood. They are people that go to church with you. They are people whose kids play ball with you, your kids. They are the members of the same country club, play golf the same place you play. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on and on. That's the people you're dealing with at Central State Bank. So whether it comes to buying a car or starting your own business, Central State Bank is the place to go. Big enough to meet every single need you have, but small enough to also know you. Built on community, building relationships one at a time. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
A little Alabama and Auburn from the SEC meetings as it wrapped up in Destin. We haven't heard a lot from Kalen DeBoer and Alex Golesh all week. So let's give you a little Kalen DeBoer here. He was asked about just Alabama's roster and team toughness. Here's Kalen DeBoer on being tougher.
You know, we made the playoffs, so we got to look at the things that we did. We made the playoffs and won 7 of 8 SEC football games and went to a conference championship and won a playoff game. And so those things don't happen if you're not a tough football team in some regard. Now, we fell short of our goal, and so we understand there is more for us to accomplish when it comes to all those areas, whether it comes to the physicality or the execution. You know, we're working on chemistry right now with so many new faces compared to what we had a year ago. So, you know, I see our guys work every single day, and so I know they're strong. I know they want it. I know there's a toughness about them. There's a grit about them. You know, last year's guys, I'd go to battle with those guys because of who they were every single time I possibly could, you know, and we're developing that with this team right now.
Is it fair to call Alabama not tough just simply because of the running numbers? Isn't that, as the very moderate IQ college football fan, if you can't run the football, you're considered not a tough team?
I mean, I think that's somewhat fair. Again, point of attack. How was Alabama against the run last year? Like, I think there was so much focus on Alabama being unable to run the football and giving up a ton of sacks.
But that defense was really, really good last year.
No, it was. I'm just wondering because, I mean, you do.
They were mid-tier in the conference against the run.
Yeah.
I mean, 126 a game, 17 rush touchdowns, middle of the pack. They were really good
I
against pass.
I mean, you can watch eye test and you can kind of see like an attitude of swagger, and you can see some toughness. But I mean, one of the easy ways to do it is point of attack.
Yeah. Now I've always thought the formation that Kane runs is going to give up some rushing yards.
But they were ninth in the country against the pass, so it was really, really difficult to throw effectively against Alabama. And I agree with Jim. Some of that could be system where, teams are not going to throw it. So they may rush for 3-4 yards a carry, but we are keeping the ball in front of us. There are no explosive plays because they're not able to get the ball down the field on us.
And eventually we're going to get you. We're going to get you off the
field. Eventually you're going to have a penalty and you're going to have to punt, or we're going to hit you for we're going to stop you for a loss, and now you're behind the chains. I was like the old I'll never forget Brock Heward on the show talking about the first time he faced the Tampa 2. And he's like, man, you watch the film, and there are completions all over the place. He goes, try throwing incomplete on first down and see how the Tampa 2 works. He's like, now you're behind the chains, and there are no open passes at that point.
And then in those days with Kiffin as the defensive coordinator, Lane's dad, and then with Todd Bowles and stuff, once you're 2nd and 10, then here comes the blitzes.
That's right. And that's why Heward was like, he was like, man, there were completions everywhere until you threw an incomplete pass, and then that defense completely changed.
I'm a average college football fan when it comes to that football IQ. I think it's running the football, and LT's point, stopping the run, that you get labeled maybe not as tough as 2011, 2012 Alabama, who was great at stopping the run and awesome at running the football. We'll see about toughness. Alex Golesh, the Auburn coach, cut number 4, Brooks, if you can. On the importance of his team establishing an identity. So hard for a first-year coach to have an identity. I think this guy has said everything perfectly since becoming the Auburn coach. But putting a roster together now to get where Auburn people want to go, it starts with being a little tougher and having an identity, and they're working on that right now at Auburn.
I would tell you that if we leave year one and we have an identity, we understand what we're recruiting to, have an identity offensively, defensively, and special teams, meaning schematic identity, the actual character which we play with. If we leave year one and we have a great foundation from an identity standpoint, we'll have a chance to be really successful moving forward. I think the worst thing that can happen leaving year one is you get done with it and you're like, man, we jacked up a lot from an identity standpoint, from a staffing standpoint, to where the internal culture now can't just be built on going into year two, but actually you have to reshuffle and reshift. And then as you're recruiting, you're now recruiting to a different scheme, a different culture. I think we leave year one and we have an identity set, and the players are the ones that are actually upholding it rather than the coaches. I think we'll have a chance to have success moving forward.
And that was sort of year one for Saban, and I imagine it's the year one for anybody that ends up being successful. I mean, Alabama took some losses that first year and they were establishing an identity. They were sitting players, not keeping players on the team that didn't meet a standard or identity. I don't know if he's setting us up for maybe a loss along the way we don't expect this Auburn roster to have. But establishing an identity, what was Hugh Freeze's identity?
Yeah, I don't know.
What was Brian Harson's?
I don't know.
What was Gus Malzahn at the end?
Well, I mean, Gus Malzahn's initial identity was a multiple offense that really ran the ball effectively, but
and it was pace.
Pace, but he couldn't sustain that. I mean, they became the opposite. Actually, they got slow and stuck in.
But I think it's much more difficult now. Like you want to have an identity as a program and a culture, but because you have so much turnover now with that roster, it's really difficult to capture that. Now, the good news for Auburn and Golesh is he's bringing a lot of his South Florida guys over, so they are used to that culture, and that's going to be interesting with Indiana. Moving forward. Like when you start to, and I believe Sig will get it figured out, but it is going to be different than all of the JMU players that he brought over.
That's why this year's it's not a huge year for Cignetti, But it's going to be a different year.
Yeah, I mean, if they dropped to 8-4, I think people would point back and be like, "Hey, man, he did this with all of these JMU players." Now, that's impressive in one regard, that you can develop players to be able to do that in the Big Ten and ultimately in the playoffs. But at the same time, people will point to that if they do have a major drop-off.
It's a smart thought because, in a different way of saying it, what you're saying is, on paper, Indiana could be better this year.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, they've got more money to spend.
Yeah.
They've evaluated more 4 and 5 stars coming into the roster than they've ever had in the history of the program. But there is zero chance they're going 16-0 again, right?
No, I mean, it's just you don't do that in college football. Yeah, they're going to find a loss.
But even with 2 losses, people are going to be like, "Wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's up with
But
Indiana?"
even if they miss the playoffs, they may be, on paper, a more talented team.
Yeah,
but
right.
they had an unbelievable chemistry and culture.
But I
and
think
identity.
I think for Nick Saban, back to Lane Kiffin saying they forced him out. I think part of that is, how do you have a consistent culture when you have new people all of the time?
Yeah, it is really difficult to do. Kirby kind of hinted at that when he was talking about when he looked at, the interview with us, when he looks at his team and he's like, hey, I mean, those Alabama teams beat the dog out of this team, but then they win the SEC. I mean, that's part of it. It's so much changeover. It's hard to have the identity that he wants to have.
I've had people who get to see behind the scenes, type scrimmages at Alabama say, I just don't know about this team this year. Just don't know. And then they follow it up with, I don't know if I'm used to seeing Alabama's teams in that situation, the Saban teams, and I'm just not used to seeing the team look that way.
Those teams don't exist anymore.
That's right. It's just a different world that we live in right now. All right, before we get to the viewing menu, Brown, if you will, I had a cool next round hat on 2 or 3 times this week. We've got hats in the merch store. We've got T-shirts in the merch store, hoodies. It's all there for you. Nextround.store, nextround.store.
Yeah, or you can just go to our website, Next Round Live, click on shop, and you can shop right there and get any of the shirts. I think our all-time bestseller is still the Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. Brooks was wearing it yesterday.
No way that'll ever get beat.
I
would challenge
probably
that
not.
to ever get beat.
Brown's #1 contribution to this platform.
Probably my only contribution. I would agree. I mean, I wasn't going to bring that up, but since Lance did, thank you. I came up with that idea, and it is our best-selling shirt.
A little bit
just a little bit occasionally. Also, the shirt that is written in Russian. You'll have to Google it to see what it says, but you can buy those right there. That has been a hot seller for us as well. The hoodies, the quarter zips, the hats, fantastic right there. NextRoundLive.com, NextRoundLive.com, or just go to NextRound.store.
Did we get a cease and desist and I didn't know about it?
I think you just got to be careful how you present that one. No, we did not.
It is a trademarked term.
Yeah, well, it's just, not in Russian.
Yeah, really not in Russian. I mean, that is interesting.
I don't know what it says in Russian, Brooks. I don't know what it says.
You can't universally trademark, though, right?
Brooks, stop. We don't know what it says in Russian, Brooks. That's enough. We don't know what it says.
I have to
in
write the product description.
It's a Russian, Brooks. We don't know what it says.
Michelson Laser Vision brings us the viewing menu today, LT.
205-969-8100. If you've thought about LASIK, first step is making sure you are a proper candidate. I went in and got the procedure done, loved it. Now still have 20/15 vision. Both Dunaway and Brown went in, and they weren't candidates. I mean, that is the integrity of the Michelsons. They're going to let you know. There's a lot of people in this space that would just say, hey, you know what? We can get this thing fixed. Not Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson. They are the best. 205-969-8100. When you call that number, ask for Amy. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have nothing to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Auburn baseball's in the first window. Baseball all day long on the ESPN platforms. Alabama's in the early evening window. Prime time for them. Auburn's first game's out. If you're watching baseball today, coast-to-coast coverage on the ESPN platforms. Loser bracket day at the Women's College World Series. Hockey tonight. Game 5?
Game 5.
In Carolina, trying to finish off the Canadiens.
Yeah. We're going to have, all right, now, if Carolina wins, they're in the Stanley Cup Finals with Vegas. Those are not 2 original 6s, right?
They are not.
No,
they're not.
So those are not tradition rich? Okay.
Yeah, Carolina Hurricanes, I think, go back to the Hartford Whalers,
Correct.
who go back to the WHA days.
Right. The Hartford was not even original 6.
Las Vegas Knights, an expansion franchise.
That's
so
right.
They didn't move from somewhere else, if I got my hockey
I think you're right
history
about
correct.
that, yeah.
And it's the last time, like the Seattle Kraken did not get the advantage that, if I remember correctly,
the Vegas Knights.
They screwed the draft
up. The Vegas Knights,
Yeah.
I think everybody was able to keep 6 players, so basically you were getting starters, second-line guys
They
on Las Vegas.
They built a power year one.
And they were
just
good
grabbing,
year one.
yeah.
And then Seattle was like, Okay, they're protecting everybody but 4 guys. You can get the dregs of the dregs.
Yeah.
A true expansion there. But they wanted Las Vegas to be good from the get-go.
Yeah. Well, they got it.
I suggest Project Hail Mary to anybody that hasn't seen it.
Which I have not. Shocker.
I think you would really, really enjoy it.
Dunaway liked it. Everybody I've talked to likes it. Everybody I've talked to says Project Hail Mary is good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I'll go above good. It was really good.
I would go above really good. I would go outstanding.
I may try
I gave it 5 stars.
I may try. We're going to see Nate Bargatze tonight. He's back in town, so I may try this weekend.
How is he at all these different places? He seems to be all over the place.
And he's doing arena shows. I mean, the guy is printing
money. Does he just stay in the South?
I think he's big in the South, but I don't know if he does outside the South. But he really wouldn't have to.
So now that he's a board of governors at Vandy, he's on the board of trustees at Vandy.
I didn't know that.
Do you think he'll be college game day Alabama celebrity anymore?
Probably no. He's got to be Vandy.
Just Vandy. If they ever have a game day.
If they ever get one.
I mean, Alabama, we do a horrible job of the guest celebrity picker when the game's in Tuscaloosa. Because I think the last was Nate was it one time.
I think Bargatze did it. Yeah. Joe Namath, he had his obligatory. But then, one time LSU was at Alabama, and they brought an LSU guy in.
Well, we don't
Brian
have
Wilson.
Yeah, Brian Wilson, the
when I was
closer.
in college.
Yeah, that's him.
We have about the smallest amount of A-plus celebrities in any. We're population-wise.
How many NFL players? I guess.
Well, but that's the thing. They can't come do it.
They can't come. I saw a thing the other day. It was like
we got Fuhrman here in a second, but 18 of the top 20 country song hits right now are either Morgan Wallen or Ella Langley. Ella Langley's from Alabama. You don't think she could be a guest
picker?
picker?
She's an Auburn fan. I think she'd be Auburn.
No, she is an Auburn fan.
That's what I'm saying. She could be a guest picker for Auburn.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that.
We can't tie Riley Green down. I think he's an Auburn fan, but he can't. He never picks a
played
side.
at Jack State.
But
I'm
still,
tired
those are big country music names. I'm just saying you don't have the Timothy Chalamets of the world.
Well, they do Luke Bryan and the other dude when they're at Georgia.
Well, Georgia's got a lot of them for some reason. I don't know. Georgia's produced a lot of music.
Yeah, but I saw this thing. It went celebrity, the most famous celebrity in each state. Who do you guys think Alabama was?
Courtney Cox.
For the person from Channing Tatum.
It's Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Well, and that's always been kind of a rumor that he would do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he hasn't.
I don't know why. Has he not ever done it?
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Top of the hour now. Project Hail Mary. Go do it. Rent it or buy it. You have those choices on the streaming platforms. We'll stream our way to Hockey Crazy Las Vegas and Todd Fuhrman on the other side on the show that's being brought to you today by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777. Or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
On our way to talk to Todd Fuhrman on this Innisfree countdown to kickoff. 92 days from week 0, 99 days from the first main weekend of college football. That's our Innisfree countdown to kickoff, your game day tradition. Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere at Innisfree. Innisfree's countdown to kickoff in 92 days.
And Todd Fuhrman joins us. This is going to be the second straight week I've asked Fuhrman about hypothetical football lines that may never exist. Fuhrman is with us every single week on the Alexander Shinnara Trial Attorneys Hotline, CBS Sports, and at Todd Fuhrman on social media. He's the former odds maker at Caesars Palace. What is up, buddy? How are you, Fuhrman?
I am doing well, guys, and I know everyone is excited for college football, especially you guys in Birmingham, but can we just enjoy the summer and not rapidly accelerate the off-season calendar already? I mean, 90 days will be here before we know it, and the war of words we're getting between Joey McGuire and Steve Sarkisian are worth its weight in off-season gold.
Thus, the hypothetical game I want to ask you about. If Texas accepted this challenge, can you give me a AT&T Stadium line, an Austin line, and a Lubbock line, please, in this game?
Well, it does come with some contingencies, most notably who would be under center for Texas Tech. I know the Red Raiders fans believe that Will Hammond is going to be ready to go with a surgically repaired knee as soon as they hit the field in early September, but I remain a little bit more skeptical. If he's not out there, this would be an absolute landslide in favor of the Texas Longhorns. For me, I make Texas a 3.5 to 4 point favorite on the road if they were to play in Lubbock. I'd make them more than a touchdown favorite at home, and that probably is a little bit short, knowing how much more dynamic this Texas team is on both sides of the ball coming into the season, with a lot of questions that Tech has to answer, most notably the replacement players that we'll see on the defensive side.
Do you factor in emotions in a game like that? Because LT was, bringing
it
up.
Would play a big, it would play a big role at AT&T Stadium. I think if you're playing in Lubbock, that would be an absolutely electric atmosphere, and it would really hinge on the reports that we were getting all fall long about Will Hammond, his mobility, because when we saw flashes of Hammond, he is more than capable of providing Tech with a quarterback that they can lean into. But if he's relegated to being a pocket passer and the mobility is of a concern, then it really changes what they can do. I think if Texas were to take the game, which, full disclosure, there's no way that Texas is going to take this game, that they might be ramped up for the contest and try and do everything they could to quiet down what I think a lot of folks in Austin will call the little brother within the state.
I don't know if you took a position on Game 6, Western Conference Finals last night. I was on the wrong side. I had the Thunder, the way they had played on the road. I thought it would be a tight game. That 20-0 run in the third quarter killed them. But now it goes back, Game 7 tomorrow night in Oak City, and the Thunder are only a 3.5-point favorite here. Game 1, they were 7.5. I mean, to me, this is value. I don't know where you were last night, and I don't know how you feel about Game 7, but where are you?
Had a little bit of under last night at 219.5, and full disclosure, turned the game off at halftime, thought that ticket was dead and buried, and then the Thunder decided they're going to give up a 20-0 run like it was the NCAA tournament with a 1 seed matched up against a 16, and we got bench warmers out there for the fourth quarter to get that thing across the finish line. But you mentioned where the number was in Game 1, LT. I think it's probably a better reference point to consider that OKC closes a 3.5-point favorite at home in Game 5 before they exceeded odds makers' expectations, and that's kind of right back where we are now. With this price, the Spurs have been getting overwhelming public support in each and every one of these games, and I don't really see that trend continuing. I'm not sure if it's about the star power of Victor Wembanyama or the skepticism about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and where OKC is going to go for offense. So I think 3.5-4 is a very fair reflection of where this number should be. What surprises me a little bit more, and it probably shouldn't given the trend that we have seen through the first couple rounds of the NBA postseason, is what kind of manual adjustment odds makers have made with the total. I mean, 219.5, and I know the game came in under in Game 6, but if you had 4 full quarters of those teams without a prolonged scoring drought, that thing would have gone soaring over. And we're now down at 212.5. Game 7 unders had typically been a blind bet you could make in the NBA. Every Game 7 total so far this postseason has gone over. And I think this is a bridge too far at 212.5. I would lean over the total with a little bit of a contrarian angle there.
All right, listen, I hate to do this on the air, Fuhrman, but I don't want to bother you later today. But since you're in Vegas, can you get me a number at someplace I can call at Caesars to get my money back from last night? Because Wemby didn't play the last 9 minutes, and I had over 28.5 on his prop. And obviously they'll give me a refund for that, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works, Dunaway. I mean, with all of the bad beat refunds that are out there now, the crying from folks on social media about my player got injured, I want a refund. That was not the sports betting model I was raised in. I know it's a little bit different here in 2026, but I'm sure if you send enough notes to some customer service agents with these national books, there's always a snowball's chance in hell they'll look to try and refund it. And I think for folks that have been in this ecosystem for a while, we'd all just prefer a fair bet and a fair limit more so than these arbitrary refunds that are issued seemingly way too frequently across all sports.
Todd Fuhrman with us, CBS Sports. Also, Fuhrman is on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Lance said something that made me pause the other day. As the Knicks wrapped up their series against the hapless Cavs, Lance said, hey, it's great that they're in the finals, but they're going to be a 2-1 underdog against whoever comes out of the West. The number's going to be that big. I mean, I know the East is not as good as the West, but this is going to be an overwhelming favorite coming out of the West?
OKC would be a bigger favorite, and I don't think that'll come as a surprise to any of you guys there. But the one thing that's been interesting about the Knicks is how much we've all been forced to kind of upgrade their power rating, given this recent run of historic excellence over the last 10, 11 games. I mean, they're not just beating these teams, they're blowing everyone out. You look at the margins of victory in these closeout games. We can say what we want about a quit factor for the Philadelphia 76ers or the Cavaliers. The Knicks have kind of been able to impose their will. And for a price, if you'd have told me that it was Knicks Thunder before the postseason started, I'd have made OKC right around a $7 favorite. That is nowhere near the case right now. I'm closer to OKC right around minus 240. And I'm actually sub $2 with the San Antonio Spurs. And if I'm looking to kind of forecast a game one number in each of these contests, I'd be in that Oklahoma City 5.5, 6 range against the Knicks, and I'd be a little bit shorter with San Antonio, right around a 3.5, 4-point favorite.
So, Fuhrman, Game 5 tonight, excuse me, Eastern Conference Finals, Stanley Cup Finals. This thing took quite the turn after the Canadians win Game 1 6-2, now 3 straight wins for the Hurricanes. These numbers continue to inflate. After that 6-2 win, all these games have gone under. Where are you right now on Game 5, Hurricanes and Canadians?
Total, a very fair reflection at 5.5. I think odds makers have done a good job adjusting these numbers down from where they started the series and when we were getting some 6s earlier on. Clearly, Carolina has been able to get to their A game since being blown out in Game 1 where it was more rust than anything else. You look at the high danger chances, they've outchanced Montreal 52-18, and that's just at even strength. I mean, the Canadians look like a team that is on the back end of a series where they needed to go 7 games to knock off the Tampa Bay Lightning, needed to go 7 games to get through the Buffalo Sabres. But it's always toughest, as cliche as it may sound, to win the final game and close out your opponent. So Montreal being embarrassed in front of the Bell Center faithful to the tune of 4-0. They were down 3-0 after the first. You're going to get a much more entrenched Canadiens team looking to stave off elimination. I don't get to where this market is today with Carolina approaching a minus 250 favorite. I did think the number was significantly shorter than what it should be with Carolina on the road last game, but this is more than a dollar adjustment. I'm not going to make a strong case for Montreal at plus 215, plus 220, but wait this out. You could probably make worse bets. Where I will make a case for the Canadiens is betting them plus a half a goal in the first period at minus $1.50. I think you're going to get Montreal's best. Is it good enough to win? That remains to be seen. But I think plus a half a goal at such a discounted price makes a world of sense for a small bet in tonight's game.
Hey, we're so close now to the World Cup. The Team USA group got announced this week. I know we're not going to bring back the old kits from 1994, those ugly uniforms. But what are the Americans' chances in this upcoming hosting of the World Cup, and not to win it all, but maybe just to get to 16, to the knockout rounds?
You're telling me that you don't have the faux denim jerseys in your closet, and you're not ready to bust them out in earnest to represent the team that was able to upset Colombia and come up just short on 4th of July against the Brazil side of 1-0. But I understand completely, although the home kit not exactly much more aesthetically pleasing this time around, but it doesn't stop me from having one in my closet. As far as Team USA and their prospects, they are the favorite in their group, but I think the group is a little bit trickier on paper than people are led to believe. Paraguay is a team that's going to want to try and take the air out of the ball and try and turn it into a little bit of a rock fight, grind down Team USA, and see if they can just get a result. The Team USA second matchup against Australia up in Seattle. Australia is a team that I think is being a little bit undervalued. They did add a key piece to their roster today, a dual national from Italy who was just able to get through FIFA, which makes them a little bit more dynamic. And I think Team USA will be overvalued in that matchup. And then on paper, the toughest from a skill standpoint and the closest competitor in the odds, Turkey in the third game at SoFi. They have a player, Alex Golesh, who may be the most dynamic that you're going to see on the pitch in that matchup. So I think USA has their hands full, but in my opinion, if we don't get to the round of 32, it's an abject disaster. And to your point, would love to see them get to the round of 16, but I'm not considering betting them to win the group, nor any more than backing them at 65, 70, or even upwards of 100-1 to win the whole thing.
First of all, very kind of you to clean me up there. 32 starts the knockout, not 16. That was a very nice way of saying that. I appreciate that.
It's okay. It's an expanded format, and I think to a certain extent makes it a little bit more anticlimactic with the field going from 32 to 48 teams and group matchups that aren't nearly as intriguing as what they would have been if this was 4 years ago.
And finally, we start baseball today. Alabama's in a good place at the softball so far, but the baseball today, Alabama's a host, Auburn's a host. It feels to me like Auburn has a real shot with their pitching to win a national championship. What are college baseball World Series odds to win it all in your world? Is there a play you like?
Auburn minus 280 to come out of the Auburn Regional. They are 12-1 to win the whole thing, which makes them the fifth shot on the board. You do have some pretty short prices on a UCLA team that has one of the softest regionals that they could put together on paper, and Georgia Tech, who is arguably the best offense in all of college baseball. So Auburn, the path is there. I do worry about their ability to score enough runs, but if they can get to Omaha, I think that's where you can lean into the arm, since typically pitching is the more important aspect of the game when you get there. Now, you mentioned Alabama on the softball side. I think Alabama's baseball team has a little bit of a tricky spot against Oklahoma State, and that's the one bet I have made in the regionals to back the Cowboys. It's a team that's got a ton of strikeout potential. You look at Alabama, they're not afraid to go up to the dish and go down swinging. So if I'm picking that regional, I'm going to make a case for Oklahoma State right around plus $1.55. And in terms of winning it all, though, I don't think there's much in the way to really be found out there. If you're looking further down the odds board and specifically focusing in the SEC, as everybody should given this conference's dominance when it comes to the College World Series, I think Florida at 20-1 would be the team that I'd be most likely to take a little bit of a flyer on.
All right, Fuhrman, before you go, we always like to get you to flex your muscles on stuff that people are like, does Fuhrman know what you're going to ask him about? We said we have never once told him one question we'll ask him.
He just did
I know.
World Cup soccer and college baseball on the fly.
Yeah, and if you don't believe it based on that, how about on this? I thought about you when I read that $2.8 billion of Bitcoin investment have been pulled out of the market, and the reaction to that is Bitcoin's price has fallen. Where do you think it goes from here? Is that a massive concern if you're holding Bitcoin right now?
What a personal question.
It's never a great situation when you have a billionaire like Mark Cuban that said he's liquidated his entire stock in it a couple of weeks ago. And the volatility that has essentially been the crypto market for, let's call it the last handful of years, I think it's one of those investments that if you're looking to try and trade day to day, you're going to do yourself a disservice because none of us are ever going to be able to enter at the bottom or sell at the top. So I have been a long hodler of Bitcoin going back to 2015. I don't love the short-term outlook, but then again, I probably would have said something similar about the financial market, and I'm a little bit disappointed the three of you guys with the Rolodexes you guys have didn't text me about buying Dell stock about a month ago, watching its rapid acceleration after earnings yesterday.
As I saw it put, though, Bitcoin has no ceiling because the dollar has no floor. So you can always hold and hope, right?
Hey, look, the geopolitical landscape the way it is, I think we all want a little bit of exposure to a commodity in Bitcoin that is never tied to a central government in any capacity. Who knows? It may be the only form of collateral that we'll have 5 to 7 years down the road the way things are trending.
Todd Fuhrman sees more than just sports. He is right there at Todd Fuhrman on social media, former odds maker at Caesars Palace, and is kind enough with his time to join us every Friday. Thank you, Fuhrman. Have a wonderful weekend. Good luck to your Vegas Knights in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, we will see what we have there. I am not overly optimistic, gentlemen, if we draw the Carolina Hurricanes. It feels like Carolina's been knocking on the door for a while, and this may be their chance to break through, but that's why they play the games. Enjoy all of the sporting activity this weekend as well, gents.
You too, buddy. We'll see you. Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Hey, and the show being brought to you today by our friends at Odie's, where live music cranks up at both locations tonight.
Yep, both locations tonight and tomorrow night. Live music. If you're looking for a place to watch Game 7 tomorrow night, Western Conference Finals, you can do that right there with our friends at Odie's. Fantastic food for almost 4 decades now with Rodney Davis. From those award-winning wings, the delicious burgers, fantastic sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Again, live music tonight and tomorrow night. Both locations, the original Crestline, newer location right there in Edgewood, on Broadway in Homewood. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
Also, our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 70 years of compassionate care, 10 locations here in Central Alabama to help you out. And they do everything from prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. And the best thing to do, you're like, well, I wonder if they do this. Well, go to the website, urologycentersalabama.com. Well, do they do that? Well, it's all right there at urologycenters.com. But something very popular, testosterone treatments, vasectomies, but the prostate health and staying on top of that, listen, as a guy who no longer is in his 30s, prostate health becomes more and more important every year. Having a baseline with a doctor for a lengthy amount of time is such a good way to stay on top of your health. That's the kind of relationship you can develop with a great urologist at Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920 to make an appointment, or urologycentersalabama.com. Here's Butch Thompson of Auburn as they get ready to host a regional here. In about 30 minutes, they'll be cranking things up down at Plainsman Park. And Butch Thompson, who's a great pitching coach back in his assistant days, has become a great head coach, and he really loves this team.
I'm going to have a blast. You know how hard this is to do, to get this set up and get it in your own house and to be able to do it for the school that you absolutely love more than anything else in your whole career. I want us to enjoy it and have fun with it. And yes, we got to win. We're supposed to win. We got to do all those things, put ourselves in position. I want to be realistic with this group because this is a young group. So, but I'm fired up to see them compete. We're good enough. And a lot of teams think they're about to have success. That's the way it's supposed to be. Everybody's supposed to feel like they can make a run. We certainly do, but we got to be ready to fight.
To make a run. Now, he's not just talking about getting out of this regional or the super regional, which they'll host, but to make a run. A lot of Auburn people believe they can win the national championship in this thing.
Well, I'm looking at, I asked you earlier on Calci. I'm looking at another site just to see if I could pull a number on this game. They're only doing run lines. You know what the run line on this thing is? -7.5.
It's pretty big, right? What's a Major League Baseball run line?
Yeah, their opener today
they're always
against
1.5.
1.5.
Who's
yeah.
their opener today?
Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
Not the Brewers.
No, the Panthers.
Yeah, not the
yes,
Brewers.
yeah.
You hear me? I found -2,100.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right. -7.5 for run line. So, I mean, you can lay 105, but they got to win by 8 runs.
Yeah.
I mean, the total is only 12.
In a situation where you're not going to throw your ace out there, most likely, because you got to save him.
And that might be the biggest number on the Mississippi
State's
State's
rolling
also,
their ace out?
Yeah, I think Alabama is too.
Oh, wait, here's.
Yeah, they're throwing their Friday night guy.
Yeah, I wanted to
wow.
ask you guys about that because I think Alabama's doing the same thing against Alabama State. And
so they're going Tyler
Auburn's
Fay?
got 3
Yeah.
legit, aces.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go with my best one.
I mean, but what kind of, is it one of those things where you don't want to send a message by putting your midweek guy out there?
Well,
or do you just try to keep in the rhythm of this guy throws every Friday, this is a Friday game, we're going to throw him this Friday?
Both Rob Vaughn in Tuscaloosa and Butch Thompson at Auburn lead me in career wins right now.
Yeah. You've never lost a game, though, in the SEC.
But there's a reason why you're the number 1 seed, and I know teams that are not number 1 seeds could have one good pitcher, and they could pitch them in this game, and it could make you look bad. But I wouldn't pitch my best guy.
I think the benefit to Forrester's point, you got 3 light guys.
Auburn's pitching staff is legit.
Yeah, it's really good.
Auburn's number 2 guy. I mean, it kind of be a toss up between who's the best guy.
Yeah, I'm just saying I do think there is some value to this guy has been pitching every Friday for 3 months now. And now we're going to say, let's sit Friday and you pitch sometime Saturday. I mean, don't you see value in that? And I know SEC tournament was different. But, I mean, this guy, this is his rhythm. You pitch Friday, you rest. You pitch Friday, you rest. You pitch Friday, you rest. There's got to be some value to that rhythm.
I've never seen a number like that, but there's 2 other teams, Georgia Tech hosting Illinois, Chicago.
Not the Cubs.
They're -7.5, and then there's one other 7.5 run favorite today. That's Mississippi State against Lipscomb. Everything else is, I mean, there's some 2.5, some 1.5s, and then there's regular money lines on some of these games.
I mean, that's just scary. I don't know if Belmont has made it or not, but Belmont has a pitcher that can roll out there. He's a day 1 pitcher who'll probably pitch in the big league someday.
Yeah.
They just don't have 2 or 3 of them. So you can catch some of these games today that you end up in a situation like, oh, my God.
Yeah, like Jack State is favored over Virginia today.
Yeah, that's the 3 favored over the 2. Yeah. You know why? Jack State's got a great Friday starter.
Yeah, but also, by the way, Jack State's a better team.
Yeah, they're underseeded at 3.
I think they should have been a 2.
I agree.
No offense to Virginia. They probably are a 2, too.
Yeah.
But Jack State should have been a 2.
Yeah, Jack State was underseeded. So that is an interesting – so they are favored, though. Jack State's favored over the Cavaliers.
-129.
Yeah. It's just – it's one of those things where a lot of these teams are here, to your point, because they've got one good starter. And one good starter has gotten them to win their conference, so they've gotten in. And you could run up against that one good starter. Buddy, you get in the loser's bracket early in this thing, and you're fried.
Then you have to use every pitcher to get out of it. To what you guys were talking about with Alabama, here's head coach Rob Vaughn about playing Alabama State today, and it's all hands on deck.
Yeah, we can talk about upstate. We can talk about Oklahoma State. All that's great, but we got to go get Alabama State first. They won their league. They have earned the right to play in the postseason. We know what they look like. They know what we look like. We played them twice already this year. There's a lot of familiarity on both sides of that. So I think that's the biggest takeaway is you can't start looking into that winner-take-all game. You can't start doing that. Shoot, I'm talking to Pap about scouting report stuff when we're just in the locker room right there. And that's what he was saying, kind of order of scouting report he's doing is Alabama State last because he wants that freshness on his mind when we're rolling into Friday. So I think that's the biggest takeaway is you can't start getting ahead of yourselves and counting your chickens here. You got to put your head down and go prepare to beat Alabama State on Friday night. And so every ounce of our attention, every ounce of our focus is going to be on that, and then we'll figure out who we play after that.
Yeah, very interesting that Forrester's one play in college baseball was taking Oklahoma State to come out of this region. And I told when the drawing happened, Forrester will admit to this. I told him, I said, Alabama and Oklahoma State, that's a tough draw for Alabama.
What if you don't play then?
There is
What if they get upset?
nothing on the Alabama number, but USC Upstate is who Oak State's got today, and Oak State's minus 2.5 runs. If you're just doing a straight money line, minus 305.
Well, what if there's an upset? What if you never have to play Oak State?
What if USC Upstate has an upstarter ready to go? All right, that's baseball today. Softball continues on in the losers bracket. Mississippi State today gets defending national champion Texas. Battle of SEC teams elimination, and then the loser bracket tonight is UCLA and Arkansas.
Real quick, do we know anything about USC Upstate? The only reason I said is their logo is Olympic rings.
That
Let's
means
see.
they did
That
not.
is so random. It's not the
No,
exact.
they didn't have a logo available.
What is that?
That's a mistake. It's not a mistake.
Are you
but
sure?
That's
Yeah,
a
they don't
default.
Yeah.
They're Upstate. I
Because
think
Spartans, they're green.
Oh, you're right, because they don't even have one for St. Mary's. You're right.
There's some of those are like they're not going to be here long.
I would question them using an Olympic ring, though. If I'm the Olympic folks, I'd be like,
wait a minute.
Trademark. All right, that's halfway through the show today. When we come back, 4 downs, trash, all still to come. A little NFL conversation, because an interesting piece of video from one OTA yesterday popped up. We'll talk about that immediately when we come back on the other side on the show that's being brought to you today by our friends at Inverness Country Club.
My bad. ICCalabama.com. ICCalabama.com. That's the website you go to find out more about Inverness Country Club. I'm going to give you a phone number if you would like a new club home. Inverness could be your spot. The phone number will get you to our friend Aaron, who will give you a tremendous tour at Inverness. I'll give it to you twice. Once here, 205-991-8608. I'll give it to you again at the end. Aaron is going to give you that great tour. And what you're going to see is a really fun golf course, wonderful shape right now. You're going to see a beautiful clubhouse with great food. You're going to see this tennis facility that has been completely renovated, state-of-the-art, top-notch when they're done with that, and a pool that is just opened over the weekend, and it is a resort-style pool with a cabana right there, so you get your food and drinks right there at the pool. But the one thing you won't be able to find out right away, you'll see it, but you won't get to know them right away, are the people. The people are the best part of Inverness Country Club. Just wonderful people there. ICCalabama.com, or give Aaron a call for a tour, 205-991-8608, 205-991-8608. The best days happen at Inverness Country Club.
Follow LT on Twitter @TheLanceTaylor.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Rolling on, we'll get back to college football in just a second. While we're talking World Cup quickly, 26-year-old Chris Richards, who Hoover guy, is on the USA team. He made Team USA, which is crazy. He left Hoover when he was 16 because he was such a dynamic soccer player. He followed his professional dreams that took him to Texas, and he started playing on U18 and U20 teams. But Chris Richards, a Hoover guy, born here in the state, is going to be on Team USA. And pretty cool.
Very cool. How big is that roster?
It's 24?
Maybe. I don't know the answer to that.
So it's north of 20. So 11 on at a time. I don't know his playing time, but he's. I think Crystal Palace is the last time I saw him in the Premier League. He's played, or maybe he's in
26. It is a 26-man roster. Yeah,
and he's he may be back with Munich now, and. What's that league in Germany?
The Bundesliga?
Yeah, I always think of Mike Rader.
So Mike Rader used to always say Bundesliga.
But I would assume, I know Premier League money is, that's NBA-like. He's making a lot of money, though, right?
Oh, yeah. He's, I think it was a $12 million I saw last time I saw him mention transfer fee that got paid from franchise to franchise, and then he gets money on top of that. So, but he's with Team USA, and it'll be interesting to see how much playing time and if he gets in there. A little Alabama tie to the World Cup coming up. Tell us about our friends at Hemphill, LT, and we will get to a little NFL conversation.
Yeah, again, the weather, I assume, I looked at the 10-day, and it looks like it's raining in the mid-70s. But we know sooner than later where we are in the middle of Alabama. This weather is really going to kick off in June, and you're going to need that HVAC unit ready to keep up with that changing weather. Our friends at Hemphill Services, they are the ones Alabama has trusted since 1954 for any plumbing, heating, cooling issues, home or business. Call 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, awaiting your call. Tell them the Next Round sent you. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
All right, so a little piece of video from the Chiefs OTAs leaked out yesterday. And Patrick Mahomes was out there practicing and running around. Obviously no contact and limited, but it was a snippet of video that popped out of Mahomes working. Does that make you feel good that he's going to be in that that starting position that is needed for that first game?
Yeah, I mean, there again, when that was the first Monday Night Football game, I think it told you the league had been assured that Mahomes will be okay for game one. When that pops up on the Monday Night Football schedule, that told me the Chiefs felt really, really good he'd be back and had assured the league. When you're out there seeing him, the only thing that is alarming, or when you see him out there, the only thing that is alarming is just how big that leg brace looks on him. And, so much of his game is about the creativity, extending the play. He's slippery. He's difficult to tackle. he leans into that by tiptoeing down the sidelines, knowing that if he gets blown up, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, which is frustrating when you play against him. But seeing him in that leg brace, you just wonder how good's he going to be at that anymore.
Yeah, and Kelsey, obviously the skills have diminished. Now, once they get to the postseason 2 years ago, you saw Kelsey take it to a different level, but he is a year older. You look at the lack of playmakers on the perimeter. Is A.J. Brown a possibility? Everybody believes New England's a leader in the clubhouse, but I've heard Chiefs, I've heard Rams as possibilities. I mean, the good news for the Chiefs is you open that Monday night with the Broncos, you're still going to be a favorite over the Broncos. Then you get the Colts at home. Then you go to your Dolphins and the Raiders. I mean, there's a great chance they open 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got a good chance to get to a good start. You do feel like, though, and we like to do this. So, all right, Scott's showing you. I mean, look at the thickness of that brace. And maybe that's not why he plays a game in. That could just be part of his rehab.
I think this is part of making sure it's stable now. There is no movement with that knee. And, I saw a report last week that said he fully expects to be 100% by week 1.
Yeah, but if he's in any sort of brace, it's just going to look weird for Patrick Mahomes, a guy that's made a living on, his mobility and his creativity.
And CBS Sports did a very interesting thing earlier this week that because of the SEC meetings I haven't gotten to yet. Who would you say is the quarterback of each decade? And I won't do the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. 60s is a stretch, but I'll start with the 60s. Just the
60s, Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas, quarterback of the decade.
Yeah.
Anybody? You get a runner-up and an honorable mention as well.
Runner-up in the 60s, Roman Gabriel.
They go. Bart Starr is the runner-up. I mean, obviously we started the Super Bowl and they won so many of the championships there. Joe Namath got the honorable mention because he was most of his success was in the 60s.
I feel like moving forward we should be able to tackle these.
Okay.
70s.
You nailed that.
It's not going to be the best quarterback that played in the 70s. It's going to be the most accomplished. It's Terry Bradshaw.
It's Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
And then I think your runner-up is going to be Roger Staubach.
Yeah.
And then I think an honorable mention could be maybe Bob Greasy or Fran Tarkington.
Both of those have been really good. Greasy, two-time Super Bowl champion in the 70s. Bradshaw won. Staubach's the runner-up. Kenny Stabler, honorable mention.
Okay.
Raiders got knocked out a lot. They won one Super Bowl, got knocked out a lot by
the Steelers.
Yeah. To the 80s.
80s is going to be easy. It's going to be Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I'm not sure you're picking the best quarterback. You could argue Marino and maybe even Elway are better overall quarterbacks, but one guy's got the rings.
Yeah, I think what's going to be interesting, I think Marino, although he didn't get that start until 84, I think he is going to be your runner-up. And then
Dan Fouts threw for a ton of yards in the 80s, but he doesn't get the respect that an Elway, a Marino, or a Montana ever gets.
Phil Simms, Boomer Esiason, all really good. I think
Warren Moon had some good moments in the 80s.
Yep.
You've nailed the first two, by the way.
Yeah.
You've done Montana. Marino is correct.
God, 3 is going to be really tough. I'm going to go with Warren Moon, though. I think that's a good call.
Right.
Yeah.
It is, you danced around it. It was John Elway.
Okay. I mean, Elway was, though, more known in the 80s for getting to the Super Bowl, and they were awful.
Success was better in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, he won the 2 Super Bowls in the 90s. He's not going to win the 90s, but you could almost make a argument for him there. But they were more known for their failures, really, than anything.
90s gets a little more difficult because you have Steve Young, you have back to John Elway, you have Brett Favre.
Jim Kelly.
Yeah. Probably the most...
It's going to be the most difficult.
I think so.
Yeah.
Jim Kelly.
I would say, which also makes it the most controversial.
Yeah.
2000s, 2010s are going to be relatively easy.
Okay, give me the 90s.
I think the 90s is going to be...
It's not the one I would make.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
I think they're going to go... I'll go Steve
Young.
And then Brett Favre is the runner-up.
And I think Jim Kelly is honorable mention.
And then I think honorable mention is John Elway.
Has either one of you said the name Troy Aikman at all?
Oh, God, I forgot all about Troy Aikman. Yeah, he was so good, too.
But Troy Aikman's the honorable mention.
Okay.
All right.
Brett Favre is the best quarterback. Steve Young's the runner-up. Troy Aikman is the honorable mention. To me, I would almost go Troy Aikman.
I don't think he was as talented. I like Troy Aikman a lot. I think he is a better broadcaster than he was a quarterback, and he was a great quarterback.
Y'all don't think Jim Kelly deserves consideration, though?
No, consideration.
Yeah.
Let me see if they even mention him in the other words.
I mean,
in the article.
Again, 4 Super Bowls.
No, Kelly was really, really good.
I mean, 4 Super Bowls the guy quarterbacked in.
He was Dan Marino light.
Yeah, that means they dominated the AFC for 4 straight years. Yeah.
2000s.
It's Tom Brady.
Yep.
Runner-up, Tom Brady.
Runner-up, Tom Brady.
Yep.
Who was better than Tom
CBS
Brady?
Sports, by the way.
Oh, the 2000s.
It's got to be Peyton Manning.
In front of Tom Brady?
Did
you watch the head-to-heads?
It better not be Kurt Warner.
It's Peyton Manning.
Okay, yeah, Peyton Manning.
Again, the head-to-head.
Yeah.
I mean, statistically, Tom Brady statistically was better in the 2010s than he was in the 2000s.
Yeah, well, Tom Brady, I was going to go both. I was going to go, well,
I guess
statistically he was better.
Brady, though, won 3 Super Bowls and was a 2-time Super Bowl MVP in this decade that they're going to get to Peyton Manning.
He doesn't get it.
Peyton won 4 MVPs with the Colts in the 2000s.
I thought he won 3.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
But with that said, so they're going to make Brady the 2010s then.
2010s, Tom Brady's the best quarterback. Back to the other one, though. It was Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, honorable mention in the 2000s.
Yeah.
The 2010s. CBS Sports, by the way, not us.
2010's a little more tricky because...
Well, you've got Tom Brady. You've already said that.
Yeah, I got Tom Brady, but Pat Mahomes really didn't come on until the latter part of that decade.
It is not Patrick Mahomes. He's not running
Aaron
up
Rodgers.
Honorable mention.
Oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is who it is. It's got to be. Or Russell Wilson.
Aaron Rodgers is your runner-up. Russell Wilson is your honorable mention. 2020s is where you get Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback.
Stafford to get an honorable
I would
mention
have no
at least.
problem. I would have no problem with that.
Runner-up Josh Allen, honorable mention Lamar Jackson.
Wow, Stafford got shut out.
Yeah, Allen and Jackson, what have they won? Really?
I mean, it's
seriously.
legit. It's a legit comment.
While Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, and Burrow have all enjoyed stellar decades, Mahomes, Allen, and Jackson continue to lead the pack for this decade.
Yeah, I really would have gone Mahomes, probably Allen, but I would have gone Stafford over Lamar.
Just in case you were wondering, a guy named Jimmy Kozelman was the best quarterback in the 20s. John Patty Driscoll was the runner-up.
Loved him.
Dutch Clark in the 30s. Arnie Herber, the runner-up in the 30s.
Norm Van Brocklin in the 50s.
Cecil Isbell. 1940s, the great Sammy Baugh, Sid Luckman, and Bob Waterfield, the honorable mention. The 50s was Otto Graham.
New York Giants.
Bobby Lane, the runner-up, and Norm Van Brocklin was your honorable mention guy.
While we're on this, I saw our buddy Tyler Siskey doing the show on McCready tell a great Eli Manning story. It was real quick. This is from when Eli was at Ole Miss and Siskey was on the staff. I have no idea who the coaches were at Arkansas State, but Siskey was on the staff at Arkansas State.
Hugh Freeze was the head coach.
When they played Eli Manning? I don't think Hugh was the head coach.
No.
So Siskey
worked with Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. But
times.
Siskey was on the staff at Arkansas State, and he goes, he said, in film, we had discovered that their guard had a lighter stance when they ran play action. He goes, so the guard was tipping off their play action plays. He goes, so we developed a blitz to take total advantage of that. We're going to blitz right over that guard. And he goes, it is a blitz. Not only had we not run all year, we only installed it for this game. He goes, we watched film. Nobody had run it on them all year. Like nobody had spotted this guard that's lighting his stance on play action. And he goes, so we install this blitz. And he goes, believe it or not, first play of the game, they come out of the huddle and the guard's lighting his stance. And he says, so the linebacker immediately sees it. He goes, before the linebacker could calculate it, Eli looks across the line of scrimmage and goes, this guy's coming. He goes, we've not run the blitz all year. And he goes, this guy's coming. And he turns around, he pulls his tailback up. Right next to him, says, block that guy right there. He literally looks at the tailback, says, block him right over the guard. He goes, so he takes the snap, he does a half-ass play action because the tailback's standing right next to him now, rolls out, hits a dig for like 70 yards. And he says, the defensive coordinator keys the mic, says, boys, we're in trouble today.
Yeah, I mean, give us a little bit of an advantage. We're playing Ole Miss.
He goes, first play of the game, we had not run the splits. Nobody had run the splits on him. And Eli, he diagnoses it immediately.
Great film work right there.
Yeah.
Really good news in college football after we tell you about a couple of great folks. One of them is our friends at Roback.com. I've got the shirt on today. You've got a hoodie on today. Brown, of course.
Forrester's got his new lighter hoodie.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
Forrester.
Brown, of course, is what?
Got his Inverness Country
Of
Club
course.
shirt on today, but another great sponsor, Inverness Country Club. But tell us about Roback.com, Roback.com, LT.
Yeah, TNR 20. Make sure you put that code in. You're going to get 20% off your great order. We unboxed some new Roback product, including Forrester's hoodie he's wearing back there. They've got great summer wear. I mentioned the swimwear. Like if you're a guy, you need a bathing suit, $58 for their bathing suits. Fantastic, very durable. Again, very important you put in that code TNR20. You're going to save 20% with our friends at Roback.com.
And our great friends at Walk-Ons. Don't forget to join the Walk-Ons Rewards program right now. Great app, makes it so easy to get to-go food. But I'm sitting here looking at a picture of some great Walk-Ons food. Just the appetizers when you go with what's it called, Brownie? When I get the shrimp that's wrapped in bacon and the cream cheese and all that.
That's
in there.
the
Devil's on a
Bayou
horseback.
Devil's on a horseback, and you can
Oh,
have it
my
in the
goodness.
grits. It's the Bayou shrimp and grits if you get in grits.
They've got the cheese logs. They've got the beignets. They've got the bone-in wings now to go with their boneless wings. It's just all such good food. The Cajun cuisine they got there, unbelievable burgers. It's all at Walk-Ons. Don't forget the Walk-Ons. The app gives you a great reward program. I use that all the time. Tattersall Park, Highway 280. And again, unbelievable, easy to go from that Walk-Ons location there. Also in Trussville and Stadium Trace, it's game on at Walk-Ons. Good news, Brett McMurphy reporting this morning that Monday's ballot, he's got the heads up. When the ballot comes out Monday to those that get to vote for the College Football Hall of Fame, the name Mike Leach will be on the ballot for the first time. They changed the rules, percentage points, to open up the door for Mike Leach to be on the ballot, and he will be there on Monday when the ballot comes out for Mike Leach.
So we are big college football fans here on this show. We've watched it our whole life. Historically, Texas Tech, Washington State, Mississippi State, those programs are how good? Historically.
They are.
Without Mike Leach, they've all sucked.
Yeah.
Bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, D+.
D plus. All of them.
Yeah.
All
Yep,
of them.
Yep.
84-43, 47-33 in conference at Texas Tech. Washington State 55-47, 36-36 in conference at State. 19-16, 11-14, the only losing conference record he ever had. I mean, the guy had a winning record at all three of those programs, which are historically bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, and I think everybody to a man would agree that he deserves to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. So to make these adjustments, I don't think anybody's got a problem with it. But I would ask you guys, if he would have stayed the path, I think, Mississippi State, maybe one day they get to be a stale situation. But do you think there's any chance he ever gets over that mark if he stays at State?
It was always going to be close. Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, Mike Price had better days at Washington State. Truthfully, Dan Mullen had better days at Mississippi State that I don't think Mike Leach would have ever got to. And because of where we are right now, Joey McGuire has had better days than Mike Leach at Texas Tech.
Oh, well, not quite yet. Now, Leach
he
did
made
win
the playoffs.
Well, but Leach did not coach when there were playoffs, and
No,
he won.
He won the Big 12.
So did Leach.
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah. The year it was a three-way tie.
Yeah, and then,
a three-way tie. They didn't have
the four divisions. So.
But, I mean, they were number 3 in the nation.
Yeah. It's a three-way tie.
Hey, back to Price. I mean, Price did have a better year, but Price was so inconsistent.
He was, but
which is understandable.
They did get him to a Rose Bowl and won a Pac-12 championship. So, and Mike didn't do that at Washington State. I'm playing Dan Mullen was better than he was probably ever going to be at Mississippi State.
State, you've got an argument. Price was consistently better at Washington State than Mike Price. Or, excuse me, Leach was consistently better at Washington State than Price was. Price had higher highs, but consistency, Leach was the better of the two coaches. And at Texas Tech, I mean, they've never had anything like him, even with Joey McGuire. I mean, Joey McGuire has not exceeded Mike Leach yet. Now, I think he will with this guy behind him. He probably will.
That was the first A year that he's had.
Yeah, I mean, everything else has been 7 and 8 wins. But, I mean, you tell me State wouldn't trade for 4-7, 7-6, and 8-4 in a 3-year span right now. That's what he did. That's what he did at Mississippi State. I mean, they take that in a heartbeat. Probably cry to get it.
Our friends at New York Butcher Shop gives us one more thing this hour. Tell us about New York Butcher.
I was in there yesterday, saw Art, all the fine folks there, picked up a couple of the fillets for dinner last night. Just absolutely fantastic. I'm telling you, if you haven't had their apple pie, I got the last slice last night. Best apple pie I've ever had.
Nothing to better add than, this apple pie. No, I got the last slice. I didn't leave it for you guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was only one left. I got so excited because sometimes I'll go in there and it's all gone, and it's, first come, first serve, obviously.
That's how fresh it is.
It is absolutely fantastic. They do have I picked up a bottle of wine last night. Great selection of fine desserts and those incredible wines. Rare quality, well-done service. 2 locations. Get in, see our friend Jim. Tell him the next round sent you. The original location, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
Huge recruiting weekend. A lot of places. It's official visit time. But Alabama's got a bunch of guys on campus, including the number 1 wide receiver in 2027. That's 5-star wide receiver Monshun Sells. He's in town visiting this weekend. In the 60-meter in track, he runs the 60 in 7.12 seconds. That's good enough in some countries to get you into the Olympics. And that's how fast he is. His final schools, I think he lives in Indiana now. He's an Alabama native. I think he moved to Indiana. His final schools are Indiana, Ohio State, Miami, Alabama. Here's why this is big for Kalen DeBoer, Courtney Morgan and company. He has grown up an Alabama fan, massive Alabama fan, including on social media. Everyone is retweeting his sports room, his family sports room, that looks like it could be
at the Bryant Museum.
It could be anybody in our listening audience who's an Alabama fan. There's Alabama blankets, there's Alabama stuff on the walls, and there's script A's everywhere. So this guy's dream is or was to play at Alabama. So he's visiting this weekend, the number 1 wide receiver in 2027.
What did you say, a 60-yard dash?
60-meter.
Okay, 60-meter.
7.12.
Because I was like, that's because, normally the 60-yard dash is a benchmark for baseball.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be a great 60-yard dash time, but 60 meters different.
60-meter, I think, is a sprint they run in the Olympics. I don't know that.
I think it probably is.
Yeah. But 7.12, that's what the folks at On3 list. That was a bragging point on On3 Sports. Number 1 receiver, but we know where Indiana is right now. He loves Alabama, but there's that Ohio State. And, even if I'm an Alabama fan dad, I would look at the recent history of Ohio State wide receivers, and I'd be like,
it's hard to turn down.
That's hard to turn down.
Yeah, and I would look at, Indiana, I just don't know how they're going to wow people on recruiting visits. I mean, would you guys agree? Like, it just still seems walking into Bloomington versus walking into Columbus or Tuscaloosa seems like it would be night and day.
But even game day atmosphere.
Yeah, but there is a small window right now, a of a time where Alabama will be recruiting players. I mean, this kid's, 17, 18 years old, right? So what has Alabama been doing for his entire is that the Bama room he's got? Is that what he's got?
Yeah. That's his that's where he watches the games. That's his room.
He's got a lot of Bama in him.
He does. I mean, but you understand what I'm saying, right? 17, 18 years old. These are guys that their entire life, all they have watched is Alabama be dominant in football.
I say that about recruiting all the time.
Yeah, but that's going to play out at some point. I mean, at some point you're going to start recruiting kids who Bama was dominant part of my if Alabama can't get back to it. They were dominant part of my life, and then they fell off a little bit. So you don't know how much I'm sure this kid, maybe there's a history I don't know about, but he's a fan because he watched Alabama do nothing but win.
Yeah, but also money factors in now.
It does.
NIL money, and we'll see. You got some big hitters there. Miami is in the mix. They do pretty good at wide receiver these days. Ohio State is a wide receiver machine, and then there's Alabama, who has a great history of wide receivers as well. To your point, Brown, and the point that I make often about your formative years, who's good during your formative years. The receivers we're watching are all playing in the NFL now.
Yeah.
When he was the 12, 13, 14-year-old Alabama fan.
Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith,
So fun weekend. And a lot of commitments coming up out of these official visits for those that haven't committed yet. More college football in the final hour of the show, including our 4 downs as well. All that is straight ahead here on the show that's being brought to you by our friends at Crane U, LT.
Yeah, Crane U wants to remind you, if you're thinking about getting in the industry or if you're already there, the first big step is getting certified and becoming fully compliant. Crane U is here to guide you every single step of the way, from first-time operators to seasoned professionals seeking recertification. Their industry-leading training programs are built for all experience levels. Backed by a team with over 100 years of combined real-world expertise, Crane U delivers the knowledge, hands-on skills, and confidence you need to succeed in the field. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U's got it handled. It's the one call you make, and you are good. For more information, online, craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alex Shinar trial attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777. Or visit alexwins.law. Alex Shinar trial attorneys. Because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
The final hour of the show always brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Some of you traveling today down to the beach or the lake, the Alabaster exit, right off the exit, turn right, down to the stoplight, left, right there on the right is Champy's Chicken. So easy to do. If you're from out of state, make it a destination lunch location. But here locally, it's always open. It's been open for 2 minutes now at 11 o'clock Central Time. Champy'sChicken.com, Champy'sChicken.com. With Sterling and the great fried chicken there that's brined overnight, cooked to order. Champy's Chicken right there. Baseball cranking up everywhere on the ESPN platforms. Auburn and Alabama hosting this weekend. Jack State on the road in Hattiesburg, where they have a game they're favored in today against the Virginia Cavaliers. The Wahoos and the Cox doing battle today on the diamond. And then softball action, Alabama, a winner last night. They rallied past UCLA. 16 trips to the Women's World Series. It's the 5th time that Alabama has won Game 1 out there to go to the winner's bracket. So a good start for Patrick Murphy and Alabama there. Back to college football we go. 92 days away from week 0, just under the 100-day mark to that first main Saturday of college football. So 99 days to that first main Saturday. And Brendan Sorsby is still a bigger question out there. Joey McGuire, away from all the great stuff he said about Steve Sarkisian in Texas, also addressed Brendan Sorsby at the Big 12 spring meetings. He says, I admit he made a mistake. I admit he should be penalized. I don't think it should be the rest of this year or his career. That from his head coach, Joey McGuire. Your thoughts on McGuire, and what would you penalize Brendan Sorsby if you were in charge of college football?
I would probably, and this is very, very harsh, but he has admitted to betting on his own sport. I'd probably have to suspend him for life.
Probably so. I mean, look, the rules are the rules, and if it is as deep as it goes, and he really has this massive addiction problem with gambling, your fear is you want him to get well, you want him to get away from it, but it just seems a little soon. And I don't know how deep this goes. I'm sure there's a lot more information that has not been shared with us, but I find it hard to believe he will ever play again.
I mean, once you've bet on your own sport, you have opened such a box there that
and
you
bet
just
on your
can't
own
close.
Games.
Yeah, bet on your own games. You just can't close that back. You just can't trust that a guy that's got that level of addiction is going to avoid doing this again. And you just can't have that as part of your sport. Yeah. I hate that for him. I know it's an addiction. It's sad that he's that deep into it. But at some point, you got to draw a line somewhere and say you can't cross this line, and he badly crossed that line.
And he'll have an opportunity at the next level, whether or not the opportunity's great, depending on where he goes. Yeah, I think people will probably shy off a little bit there too. But if this was a situation where when they did the background check and they've completely vetted him, that he was on his bye weeks, he was sitting on the couch and making a few wagers. That's a little bit more forgivable. When you find out, though, that, multiple times betting on his own games, and then this thing's supposed to be massive that we just don't know about.
Yeah, and you were trying to crack down on this in this sport, Jim, and that's why, the NFL's got a pretty punitive policy. I mean, you cannot even bet on another sport from inside an NFL facility.
Well, when you're going to partner, that's the difference. At the collegiate level, you hadn't partnered with some of these, but when you've got a DraftKings partnership as the NFL, you really have to make that stand.
And so they've got a pretty punitive, and unfortunately, Jamison Williams is a guy, Calvin Ridley is a guy that they've seen that. You've got to make a stance somewhere to say this cannot be part of our sport, and the NFL has done that. And I assume it's worked in the NFL. I don't know how big a problem this is in the NFL for guys that are not in that we don't see in the headlines. But, boy, I tell you what, in college football, you've got to stop it very, very early.
But we've seen it with Calvin Ridley and
Well,
Jameson Williams.
I know. So you assume it's not widespread because you've only seen a few people get popped for that, and they can monitor it very, very easily.
And that wasn't on their own teams or even their own sport. They were just making bets inside the facility,
That's right.
which is prohibited, on their app, on their phone there. Also from the Big 12 spring meetings that was going on this week as well, they voted unanimously. How many teams in the Big 12 now? Is it 18, 16, 18?
In the Big 12, I think it's 16.
Yeah. However many's in the Big 12, they all unanimously voted on the 24-team playoff model. They're in favor of that. Here's Greg Sankey as the SEC meetings wrapped up on the SEC's preferred playoff number that they're not budging by.
Is it fair to report as of now that the SEC position is still 16 as a preferred format?
Yes.
Okay.
I said that in April.
Yeah.
And in April when we were in Las Colinas, I said you can go back and look at my no, that was Fiesta Bowl where I said look at my prior statements. We've not taken votes or positions. I said no decisions will be made, so we default to where we've been, which is 16.
Yeah. So they didn't. Like the other leagues have held these votes, the ACC, we're in favor of 24. The Big Ten, we're in favor of 24. They didn't take the vote because I don't think the SEC likes taking votes unless it's going to be unanimous.
Yeah, and it's going to flip the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the majority of the SEC programs would want 24.
But I think the SEC...
Maybe.
Because, I mean, there's much more marginal programs right now that 8 and 4 would benefit them, and they're possibly getting in.
Who do you think would not? Like, if you're just guessing, these programs...
I think there are some school presidents who are concerned about, the TV partner, ABC, ESPN, and their concerns on what does it do to the regular season. I don't think it's automatic that, the coaches may vote one way, but I don't think the league stance would be, I'm in favor of 16 or 24 teams until I know what it's going to do to our television package.
Right. The old boy at Georgia has been very outspoken on this, school president there.
Jerry Moorhead.
I had no idea what his name was. Thank you. Jerry Moorhead, the president at Georgia, has been very outspoken about this. I don't know if he's like the head of the presidential board or whatever. That is very telling. And he's going on Feinbaum. I mean, he's done the media tour. He's talked to the media, I think, at the SEC meeting. So he's been outspoken about that. So I think you could probably put Georgia in the no category for sure.
Georgia, I think, would be no. I think Alabama and Texas would be no. I'm just guessing here. I think LSU.
You're talking about coaches or school presidents?
See, I don't know what the school presidents think. I don't know why they are one side or another. Like, why do you think?
I think Kirby would be against it. He might be the only one.
To me,
I think.
If I've got a coach like Kirby Smart and I'm Jerry Moorhead, the Georgia president, I'm listening to my coach. I go talk to him and say, all right, look, we got to vote on these important things. Kirby, you tell me where do you want to be?
I mean,
and
that
why?
is more of his expertise. So I kind of agree. I think they probably lean on their coach.
Like if Kirby had to vote on biology degrees, I don't think Kirby does that without going and talking to the school president saying, for some reason, the coach has to vote on biology degrees, so I need to know what you want me to do.
When Sark commented on this, I brought it up yesterday. If you're Texas or Alabama, it doesn't matter if it's 4 or 24. Like, the expectation is to be one of the 4 best. So 24 doesn't do anything for those institutions. So I think it's Georgia. I think it's Alabama. I think it's Texas. But I think almost maybe LSU. Everybody else is like, let's go 24.
But and I'm not saying you're wrong, but that would be foolish to only do that about you making the playoffs if it's going to cost you money long term, if it hurts the regular season and costs your money as an institution with your TV contract.
When has college sports ever thought long term?
Well, and I don't think coaches definitely. I mean,
Well, that's why the coaches don't get an official vote.
Yeah, that's why the presidents vote for it. And the presidents aren't in the self-preservation game. Like, if Kirby, for whatever reason, hits the skids and starts losing games, you know who's not losing his job is your guy there, Jerry Moorhead. He's not losing his job. Now, Kirby could lose his, and then the AD is going to lose his. Those are the self-preservation guys. But the presidents, I agree with you, Jim. The presidents look at the dollars and cents. Where are the dollars and cents coming from?
ABC and ESPN.
So I think that's where the vote is. Whatever ESPN and ABC want is probably where you'll find the SEC one day.
Yeah, and the ACC commissioner who's got to deal with ABC, ESPN, told us what ESPN thinks.
That's right.
He said they don't want anything more than 16.
Yeah. So I think that's why when this question gets asked, the SEC, the two biggest business partners I'm aware of with ESPN are the NFL and the SEC.
I mean, other than me getting into the playoffs as a coach, I think you agree that if we go to 24, there is that concern that it's going to water down some of the games in the regular season. Right?
Oh yeah, and it's going to be a terrible first round of the playoffs.
See now, yes, it's going to water down some of the games. It's also going to make some more meaningful. And we discussed this the other day. The problem is it's going to take the meaningful games from teams that are playing to get to 10-2 to teams that are playing to get 8-4.
I know. So which one would you
be
more drawn to watch?
I'd far rather have the teams playing to get to 10-2. I'm just saying everybody's at where you're going to lose meaningful games. You're not. You're just going to bump them down the ladder of the teams that are playing.
I mean, meaningful games in the television ratings world, though, I'm going to lose those games.
Think about
it's not going to be the same number of people tuning in with the same buzz to watch two teams trying to get to be 8-4 to make the playoffs.
That's it. I mean, imagine if you have a 7-4 Vandy and a 7-4 Tennessee, and based on the way the layout is, the assumption is the winner going 8-4 is in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to feel a little hollow.
My example on what you're talking about,
we'll watch it, but it's not going to be the same buzz
and
as
you're never going to believe
Alabama at Oklahoma. The winner of that game gets in, and both of them are, at that point, what is it, 9-2 or whatever?
Yeah, but for the casual fan like us sitting on the couch, that 8-4 team's not going to make any noise. For the fan base, that'll be excited. Hey, you beat your rival and you get into the college football playoff, but it's not going to be
my
anything.
example of what you're talking about will always be your first year of the expanded playoff, Ole Miss goes to Florida in a game they should have won. Billy Napier's dead man walking at that point. Ole Miss is just, they're kicking right along. Kiffin's got them playing well. And they get upset and it knocks them out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
In a non-playoff world, that's just, look, Ole Miss lost to Florida.
Yeah.
They're not going to go to the Capital One Bowl. Now they're going to go to the Outback Bowl. That was what that used to be. But in the playoff world, that changed that into a game everybody in the world was tuned in and watching.
It cost Texas last year because forget the loss to Ohio State. That's forgivable. They lost to Florida last year.
Mm-hmm. At Florida,
and that's the one that kept them out.
Now another one is like another good example is Texas.
You say that, but if they didn't play Ohio State, they played somebody else.
No, they did.
No, they probably would have been, but at the end of the day,
right.
You don't lose that Florida game, the game you should have won.
Take care of games you should win.
But another example there was Texas at Mississippi State last year. Like, that game goes to overtime. State blew a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter, and it goes to overtime. In the past world, that was, look at gritty old State, trying to upset Texas. How cool is that? To, oh, my gosh, Texas is about to blow their playoff chance in Starkville, Mississippi.
Yep.
I mean, the playoff has created those situations, no doubt.
Another thing, we cut short the conversation earlier in the first hour about losing some of the big national games when Chris Del Conte, the Texas AD, says tentatively Notre Dame is scheduled in 2028, 2029. Some discussion that maybe Texas may back out of that game because of the lack of the strength of schedule that at this point is being maybe not factored correctly in the playoff selection. Coming out of the Big 12 meetings, joining the Big 10, the discussion of if we go to 24 teams, both of those conferences are looking at going to 10 conference games to where they're at 9 now. The SEC and the ACC just went to 9. The Big 10 and now the Big 12 follows up saying if we go to a 24-team playoff, we want to go to 10 conference games.
So does
your thoughts on that?
Does that mean one day somehow we go to less regular season games because the college football playoff gets so expanded? Is that a possibility?
Oh, I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, but
that would really suck if your team doesn't get into the college football playoff because you've got a smaller regular season than we've ever had.
I told Brownie what is happening if we're losing these big national games, like Oregon canceling Baylor, if Texas and Notre Dame don't play each other, and then we're going to 10 conference games. We're becoming so regionalized, and I know the Big Ten goes coast to coast, but you know what I'm saying. It would be all Big Ten games, 10 Big Ten games, and probably 2 MAC games would be the Big Ten schedule at that point. If the SEC went to 10 conference games, which Nick Saban always said we should, why not go to 10 conference games? And
then Sun Belt or CUSA?
Yeah. Now, he was in favor of 10 conference games, 1 big out of conference and 1 homecoming.
But could you see a day where Lance just kind of referenced it, go back to the COVID season, where SEC only plays SEC until we get to the playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, if you shorten the season because of an expanded playoffs.
If we get to my
Super League.
Yeah, I don't like it. Now, in 2020, we were able to digest it because we thought for a minute we weren't going to have college football at all.
I would have watched Alabama play Hoover in 2020.
So we were like, this is
care.
great. But can you imagine if there was a world where you've only got 10 regular season games? That sucks.
I mean, I think part of our, just part of what this game is built on is seeing Alabama play Ohio State and Auburn play Texas. I mean, when we were growing up, those are the games you got. You got Auburn opening the season with Texas and Miami, and they would play Florida State. That Auburn-Florida, y'all remember how good that rivalry was?
But you know
Florida
what
State?
they're going to say if this goes that way. Well, you get to see it in the postseason.
Yeah, but I used to get to see it in the season and the postseason.
Yep.
Now you're taking it away from my season and only giving it to me in the postseason.
But if you were an old-time baseball fan and there was something cool about at the end of the year, after watching baseball all year in the World Series back in the late 70s, early 80s is, I guess, when it hit mostly for me, to see the Yankees and Dodgers finally on the field together in the World Series, because you didn't have interleague games during the regular season.
Right.
So the only time you ever saw the American League and the National League play against each other was an all-star game that meant nothing, and then the World Series.
Yeah.
And there was something about that. So I guess that would be cool in the postseason.
But, boy, you got a lot of divisional games back then, too. I mean, you saw the Braves and Dodgers. I mean, how many – you play 19 now. I can't remember how many it was pre-interleague, but it felt like the Braves and Dodgers and Giants played all the time.
All the time.
That's all I ever saw was Braves playing Dodgers, Braves playing Giants.
Yeah. There is something – some of my favorite memories of college football is – what do they call it? Intersectional games? Is that what Keith Jackson used to call them?
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you.
Yeah.
But I will say this, the way the Big Ten is currently scheduling, an entire Big Ten schedule is better than what they're going to give us.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're out of conference. I mean, Brooks sent it to us yesterday. God bless Klatt. When they announced the first 3 Big Noon Kick games.
Do we have that graphic anywhere? I meant to bring that up.
Yeah, the first 3 Big Noon Kick games. Yeah. I mean, I love – and Klatt is more frustrated about this than anybody. I can't imagine – how pissed off Fox is to pay all the money that they pay.
And CBS and NBC.
Yeah, but Fox
gets the best games.
Fox is the big one, and they pay all the money, and they made all their plans. They're like, you know what? We have hit gold with this early Big Ten game. We've got all these good games early, and we've hit gold. And, the Big Ten's response was, we're just going to quit scheduling them. So now I've got to show North Texas at Indiana. By the way, that was the one we finally landed on.
Yeah, that's what I told you, man. Yeah. This new Indiana, the beast of college football.
North Texas at Indiana. Now, I do get Oklahoma at Michigan, thank God. But then once you get fired up for that.
Because the SEC's involved.
That's right. Once you get fired up for that, next week, folks, don't forget. I mean, you could just hear Gus in the fourth quarter, Oklahoma, Michigan, great game. Next week, we'll be in the Horseshoe for Kent State.
No, it is
Lou
sad.
Holtz's school.
You have
Kent
got,
State.
Well, honor Lou Holtz.
Arguably one of the, the second, or best college football analyst. And these games won't even find a TV.
Yeah.
I mean, week 2 obviously will.
Week 2 will be
week
maybe
1
a main
and week
TV.
3,
Yes.
I don't think they find a TV.
No, and this is what Fox is paying billions for this, and this is what they're getting.
Yeah.
And like Jim said, they get the first pick. Like they could, anything that's basically east of the Rockies, they could put on at noon.
And I'll tell you, man, if I'm an advertiser and, I signed a multi-year deal.
Hell, I'm
and,
Fox.
And I start to see these games and I've signed this with Fox, I'm like, hey, you're going to have to give me a break or we're going to tap out.
I mean, Sankey took I don't even think it's that much of a veiled shot. I'll read it to you what he said.
But, I mean, what are the difference in ratings between weeks 1 and week 2 and week 2 and week 3?
They'll be terrible.
Yeah. About a 10 million difference.
But you know what? They're still going to want their sponsors to pay the exact same amount for week 1 as they do for week 2, as they do for week 3.
You got to swallow 1 and 3 to be there for week 2.
A lot of people,
and really to be there for the Michigan-Ohio State game at the end.
Yeah.
That's tough, though.
This was Greg Sankey at the SEC meetings when asked if he believes, according to Andy, our buddy Andy Staples on 3, when asked if he believes the SEC's deal with Disney ESPN is undervalued relative to the audience the league has delivered. In other words, are you getting paid enough? He says, yeah, I think it's undervalued. I don't think we're getting paid enough, essentially, is what he said. But then this quote, but I'd much rather be over-delivering than under-delivering. And as Staples adds parenthetically, if you think that's aimed at another league, it probably is. And that's the league it's aimed at. Like, SEC's making less from ESPN, ABC than the Big Ten is making from their conglomerate, but they're delivering a better product.
Yeah, which is why the SEC or the Big Ten shouldn't do this either. The SEC obviously is against it. They came out and said they have no interest in giving up their media rights as part of this Cruz-Cantwell bill, talking about the ability to pool media rights. The SEC says no thank you in an official statement from the school presidents. We have worked hard to build the SEC into what it is. Why am I going to give up our TV rights to pool with other leagues? And the Big Ten should say, and will say the same thing. There's the statement from the presidents and chancellors on the media rights proposal. And you shouldn't do that. I mean, I understand why the Big 12, ACC, and the G6 would want to pool together and maybe get a better deal. But if you're the SEC or the Big Ten, there's no way you jump into a pool. At that point, you're pulling everyone else along for all your hard work.
And look, if I'm Greg Sankey, or if Tony
Petitti,
Tony Petitti, anybody involved with the Big Ten or the SEC, I'm showing the clip earlier from Joey McGuire in the Big 12, and I'm like, this is literally apples and oranges.
They're sitting at a picnic table, sharing a mic.
And I agree with you. I wouldn't do it either. With that said, one of the reasons the NFL is the best model is the Cincinnati Bengals and Lance's Rams swim in the same swimming pool.
Yeah, I understand that.
I mean, that's one of the reasons they are what they are.
And
it's one of the reasons Major League Baseball's in trouble.
I understand why we always reference the NFL when we talk college football.
It's the best model out there.
It is, but you can't model 138.
You can't.
6 or 70, whatever the Group of 5 in Notre Dame is.
Nope,
I
agree.
Power 4 in Notre Dame.
You probably can with 50.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe.
if you get the Super League.
Back to the Super Leagues. I talked about it. Was laughed at on Wednesday, but
I didn't laugh at you.
If we get back to that, then
I don't think we laughed at the Super League. I think we laughed at the way you set it up.
It all being SEC and Big Ten. I don't know what 28 SEC, 28 Big Ten. I don't know what they'll be labeled. I have always thought there would be a Super League, that there would be a split off.
You think the SEC is just going to go away?
I don't know.
You think the Big Ten's just going to go away?
No, but I'm saying the Big 12 and the ACC may have different names, but there'll be other.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what they would do.
They could still be the ACC and the Big 12. They just won't be part of the Big Ten or the SEC, the Super Leagues. Their football will be the major football would be played in these two Super Leagues.
Yeah, but I think you could have the two Super Leagues,
4 conferences,
and maybe even divisions in the Super Leagues where you have a Big 12 and an ACC.
There would be divisions.
Yeah.
They would not be the ACC or Big 12. They won't be called that.
Well, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. There'll be other divisions.
The Bunny will be going to right now Birmingham as long as it stays in Birmingham.
And you really couldn't
Indianapolis.
Couldn't group a bunch of Big 12s or ACCs together because that kind of defeats the purpose.
That's right. No.
But if they all get together and don't operate in a silo and they collectively bid out their games,
we're overthinking this.
I know.
Yeah. No, if the SEC and the Big Ten pooled their rights with all the other leagues, they would probably make less money.
They would, but if you split off the bottom feeder leagues and just had the 50 best properties in college football, maybe that group negotiation would make more money. I don't know if it would.
Yeah. See, you're saying 50.
I don't know the number.
I know, but 50 is a good number.
Yeah.
You keep saying 50. The SEC and the Big Ten combined right now is what?
It is
34. You're just
34,
16 off right now.
I need to find 16 more teams.
Well, it's easy.
It's like
Miami,
one of them is Notre Dame,
Texas Tech,
Clemson,
Florida State. Yeah, I mean, you get there pretty quick.
Right now,
you're there 50.
Right now, Greg Sankey's running a pyramid scheme. He goes to the Notre Dame and says, "Do you have 8 friends that would like to work from home and vacation anytime they want?"
But no more than 60.
But that's another problem with this Super League one day. What do you do with Notre Dame?
Oh, they're in it.
Yeah, they
you don't have it
be
without
part
them.
of the Super League.
Yeah, you just got to convince them. Lance,
they're going to choose which division they're going to play in. They're going to be in the Big Ten division or the SEC division.
It is a tricky one because of the money they're making as an independent.
Yeah. But again, if we're only scheduling Super League games and we're playing a Super League playoff, then Notre Dame, you're right. They can stay out there and they could play the Iowa States and the Washington States and the teams that aren't in.
They would recreate a dynasty if they did that.
They would.
Yeah.
They would. And would be watched about as much as you were able to watch them on television in the 1920s and 30s, which was zero. The money would be in the Big Ten and the SEC at that point. They'd join somehow, some way. 4 downs coming up as soon as we tell you about our great friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
205-969-8100. I got the procedure done in 2003. I wore the contacts for about a decade, wasted money on that, was also a pain in the ass. Finally went to see Dr. Mark Michelson in 2003. Got the procedure done. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. Still had that 2015 vision, better than 2020. When you make that call, ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. 205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
And 4 downs presented each day by Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. You cruise the roads of Alabama. You see those federal and state and municipal roadwork projects. Really good chance you see our friends from Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction doing those. They do a ton of those jobs. But don't let that tell you they don't have time for your smaller job, like a parking pad, a driveway at your house, a parking lot for a church, or a community center, or something like that. They got them, man. It is the same no excuse standards, no matter the size, same quality. Crews dedicated entirely to those jobs right there at Central Alabama Asphalt. So for a quote, an estimate, jobs big or small, call this number, 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or visit them online, centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Puka Nacua, 25 years old today.
Wow, been so fast to 25.
Carmelo Anthony, 42. Ultimately better career, Puka or Carmelo?
Well, Carmelo carried a college basketball team to a national championship, which is pretty uncommon. Like Purvis Ellison gets credit for doing it. Danny Manning gets credit for doing it. Carmelo gets credit. I'm not sure who else.
Yeah, Glenn Rice.
Huh?
Kemba Walker for
Kemba
sure.
Walker for
Kemba
sure.
Walker, Glenn Rice. I mean, there's not many when you consider how many champions we've had.
LT mentioning greatest Knicks of all time the other day. Carmelo got mentioned.
Yeah,
at least
I don't
in
disagree
that
with
conversation.
A great nugget, too. I would. This will shock you guys. I would go Carmelo.
I think I will too.
Yeah, because he's got the championship. Now, at the NBA level, those Nuggets teams are really good. I would say this, like, better chance than not, Puka will not get a championship.
I mean, I think he will, but there is a chance he does not. Yeah, I mean, Stafford's going to retire soon. Stafford says he's happy they drafted Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I saw the interview on McAfee.
Yeah, happy they drafted him.
He's always going to say the right thing.
No, I think he's a pretty good team guy. I would agree with you.
Yeah, I thought it was a really, really good interview, and was glowing, raved about him. Said he enjoyed watching him play in college.
Yeah.
Wish he was wearing a different color palette.
Second down.
Paul Skeens, 24 years old. Another really solid outing yesterday. We got the loss.
Good birthdays today, by the way.
Paul Skeens at 24. Would you go ultimately better career, Paul Skeens or Paul Simon? I'm going Skeens. I think Skeens is going to be the next Roger Clemens.
You're asking the wrong guy because I don't like Paul Simon to start with.
Who does?
Do you like Bridge Over Troubled Water?
No.
You don't like that song at all? It was Simon and Garfunkel. I just wondered if...
Now, he is considered one of the great... songwriters. I'm like you. I don't like his music at all.
Right.
Little bitty fella got upset at one of the great Saturday Night Live sketches that he walked off the stage when they dressed him like a turkey. He cussed out Lorne Michaels.
I mean, I respect what he has done musically, but I would go Skeens. I would go Skeens. I'd go Puka. I'd go Carmella all over Paul Simon so far.
Do you want me to? I mean, this is the biggest insult to Paul Simon, but when you say his name, do you know the image that comes to my mind? Not the one you were talking about.
Call Me Al video.
The music video with Chevy Chase where he blows the trumpet right in his face because Paul Simon is so short. That was not the height of his career, but it is what I think of every time you say it.
A couple of goof dicks together
I
on
know,
MTV.
but every time you say it, that's all I think. I'll go Paul Skeens.
Third down.
JFK would have been 109 years old today. John Kennedy or Tom Brady? Better career.
Well, I mean, Kennedy's, we saw the end of Brady's career. He went the whole career. Kennedy's was tragically cut short.
Yeah, I think the approval rating has always been good for Kennedy, and I think some of that has to do with the fact that he was the last president assassinated. The whole Camelot thing, I think there was something that was sensational and magical about. I mean, obviously we didn't live during that time.
We didn't live through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we start with that. We didn't live through it, how important that was then.
But I think historians view him as
so young and American, sort of a loving young family in the White House was important at that time.
It would have been fascinating, the youngest president ever elected, to see what social media era would have been like with him and Jackie O and all of the things that he liked to do and probably could have never have gotten away with. And I could be wrong. I think historians viewed him as an average president, though, right? Like, I think approval ratings were great.
Well, he was right in the height of communism and the spread in Russia and the whole Bay of Pigs. I mean, it was a messy situation for him.
Civil rights. He's the president that started changing segregation in the South. He was very important in that. He was very important in the race for space because of what it would do to the Soviet Union.
CIA was big then, too, what all was going on there. More controversy, I think, with him. I mean, the controversies with Deflategate, Spygate. I'm going Tom Brady.
I think I'll go Tom Brady as well.
Yeah. Tom Brady's probably the answer. Just hard to compare presidency and football, but I'd probably go Brady. But I thought Kennedy did a lot of things that are very...
I think our nation likes football a lot more than politics.
They do right now.
Turbulent times back then.
4th down.
Okay, on this date, I'm not going to give you the year, the best-selling single of all time was recorded. I just want to go around from you four to see if you can get this right. Because I asked somebody yesterday and they drilled it. And I was like, how in the hell would you know this?
Best-selling single of all time.
On this day?
On May 29th. Okay. I'm not going to give you the year because that might give it away a little bit, but you just think about what you could consider the best-selling single of all time.
It was recorded on this date?
It was recorded on this date, on May 29th.
Okay, so it's the best-selling single, so we're not talking streaming at this point. It's not Spotify numbers.
I'm talking about from when it was recorded to now. It is the all-time number one selling single.
It's going to have to have some street life to it, or some life to it, Jim.
So this is not a typical 4-downs question. This is going to be a statement, a historical fact, but I want to see if any of you guys, I've got a feeling one of you guys will come close or get it.
It was a song. My guess is going to be a song that I hated would come on in a bar in 1984, 85.
Call Me Eileen?
No, it was it was American Pie.
Oh, Don McLean?
Don McLean was the name I was going to say. Bye Bye Miss America Pie. Hated when that song would come on in a bar.
My initial guess, but you've made me doubt it because you talk about it like it's out of left field, which you might not have intentionally done. You might be trying to throw us off. My initial guess is going to be Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Is not Thriller.
I think that was the album at one point. It may not be anymore, but
I'll go Lose Yourself, Eminem.
Wow.
No, deep cut.
That was the most listened to song of the 2000s on radio.
It's a great tune. I think it's one of those transcendent, like people that don't even like rap,
listened
enjoy
to
that.
It earlier this week in the gym.
I've already missed it. I was going to go Thriller too.
Wow, two votes for
Okay,
Thriller.
now I'm going to give you the year and see if you guys can dial it back in. The year that the number one selling single of all time was recorded on this date in 1942.
Oh my gosh, 42? White Christmas, somebody said. Irving Berlin.
Who said White Christmas?
Is he right?
Ush is dead on.
Is he?
Yeah. Bing Crosby's White Christmas.
Oh, because of the amount of play it gets during Christmas.
Why did he record it on May 29th? Did they release it then?
Well, you're not going to record it the week of.
It's a Christmas song.
You got to produce it, get it together.
Send it out.
Yeah.
You got to record. I mean, Christmas movies get made probably, in the summertime before they come out?
I remember I was supposed to be a extra in Jingle All the Way in L.A., and it was done in June.
Yeah, see? So
May 29th. I'm not even in the spirit.
Over 50 million copies of White Christmas has been sold.
That's why every artist makes a Christmas album, I guess.
Yes, they used to all the
money.
time. Yeah. How about that? I never would have guessed that one.
That's our 4 downs today, brought to you by Central Alabama Asphalt. That is very interesting because if we're going Christmas, we'd instinctively go to the one that's popular now, but that's
the Mariah Carey.
Yeah, but that's all streaming now. You don't really buy the single.
I think year in, year out, it's probably the most streamed now. But if you go back with the history all the way back to 1942,
that's really interesting. The country music charts that I gave you earlier, 18 of the top 20, Ella Langley and Morgan Wallen. You didn't used to get that back in album release days because they would save certain songs. You wouldn't have 2 songs on the radio at one time, right?
Yep.
You wouldn't have 2 hits from the same album. You'd wait for one to go as high as it could in the charts, and then you release another single to allow radio to play that. Your album would drop, but you wouldn't have 18 of the top 20 from 2 artists like you do nowadays.
But you might have with Elvis, guys like that.
But,
I mean, iconic guys like Elvis probably did have.
But
those
it's
kind of
also
numbers.
the number of songs the artists release. I mean, to have that many just released at the same time total, not even
like
your
an album
hits.
back in the old days would be
8 or 9
12
songs. Yeah, 8, 9, 12 songs.
Beatles
and,
probably all theirs once you release something.
Yeah, Morgan Wallen. I mean, he'll release 35 at a time.
Didn't they hold them back for some reason?
I don't
radio
know.
play.
I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, like Casey Kasem. You just never would picture him going, now at number 17, it's Ella Langley's third song in our top 40.
But as you know, a lot of that was political and money oriented. I mean, we didn't even play music on our station at Jocks, and we used to have to sign a document acknowledging that we would not accept money to play music. That's how serious that was taken in the radio industry. I'm like, I can easily sign this one. Nobody's ever going to pay me to play a song. I can promise you.
You never know that. All right, when we come back, we'll do Trash Today. Bud Light brings you part of the show always. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy here in the summer of 2026.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777. Or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Our friends at Champy's bring you this hour every day on the show. The final hour of the show, Sterling and the crew, taking care of you for lunch, dinner, tailgating, parties, great catering service, easy to go on your drive home as well. Just go to champyschicken.com, put that order in, and pick it up in the to-go window, just like that. In-house made sides, in-house made desserts, the key lime pie, the caramel cake, both of two of my favorites. The hand-cut chicken fingers, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and, of course, the fried chicken that's brined overnight, juicy down to the bone. It is Champy's Chicken for the weekend. Destination location, champyschicken.com. First, let me know if you get that roller coaster video that I just sent you. When you get that,
I saw that.
Give me a hat wave. We'll get to that here before we get to trash.
Oh.
I did want to ask you guys quickly, as we get ready for a weekend, the sports this weekend doesn't seem to be. I mean, I know Game 7. You say you're excited about that.
I mean, I am. I mean, just based on the fact you got your defending champions, you've got, the current back-to-back MVP winner in SGA, who did not play well last night, really hasn't played well in this series, going against what is going to be the face of the NBA for a long time. So that is a fun Game 7.
But these two series have been atrocious.
I just can't watch the NBA.
What are the close games in these two series? There was a close game one, the Cavs. I mean, they barely showed up.
I mean, we knew that series was over after they blew a 22-point lead.
I mean, that's really the only compelling game in that series.
And see, this is my point when we're discussing college football is, it's the regular season in the NBA. They've hurt that so badly now by resting players. I don't know what else it is that makes the regular season so uninteresting to me, and now I've grown so uninterested in the regular season. My playoff interest has waned to the point that I don't even turn it on. I've yet to watch 1 second of the NBA playoffs.
I mean, I'm not nearly, and you guys know this, a lot of it is the fact that I've lost love for the Lakers. I just don't like the front office. I don't like their star right now in LeBron, or their number 2 guy. So there's a lot of factors there. But, people even used to say that, hey, man, NBA, they don't play till the final 2 minutes, don't play any defense. They really don't get into the postseason. I really think parity has hurt the NBA where it should help.
Yep.
When you used to have the dynasties of the Bulls, or if you had the dynasty of Golden State, or even the great rivalry of the Lakers and the Celtics, you just don't have that anymore.
You need 2 great teams and 4 good teams. That's all you need.
Now, I do think the finals, you guys would give me, because there is so much, I don't want to say Nick love, but people are just scratching their heads. How could this organization be so good or so bad and not win a championship for so long? I do think that market is going to pull in a lot, and I think there's a national appetite to see the Knicks in this final.
Just to see the Knicks win a championship, what would happen in the city to see that happen?
That'd be crazy.
In New York City, I think that would be interesting to watch. But of all the teams, the Knicks are my favorite team, and I've yet to watch one bit.
I think it will be a fun finals.
You didn't miss anything in the Eastern Conference Finals. After that collapse, that was a terrible series.
And listen, I know you guys hate women's sports.
I don't hate women's sports.
But softball, to me, the Softball World Series is so exciting. What they did yesterday was just, other than the first game when Tech blanked Mississippi State, those other 3 games were just tremendous. And hopefully the excitement will happen in the baseball. Wake Forest leads Kentucky, already 1-0.
I would much rather watch women's softball than women's basketball.
Yeah.
I will say that.
100%.
Yeah.
You know
it's
why?
a better game.
I've always said this because we see men play basketball, and then watching women do the same sport, we don't see men play softball,
inferior.
right?
Yeah.
You don't see them play fast pitch.
Softball's a different sport.
It's so much different than baseball. There's no comparison.
It's a different sport.
Yeah.
And really, the baseball that's going on one screen, the softball, McAfee just had 15 minutes of softball talk on his popular podcast there, his show. Just the pace of play is so fast compared to the college baseball. Like if college baseball, I think, went to 7 innings, they would never do that. I don't know why, because they want to be 9.
They should for the SEC tournament.
But 7 innings, a more crucial game, it's got to happen fast. I think that would be a little.
Now, I know
more
you
interesting.
labeled me and Brown both as misogynists.
I'm not
No, but I think we'll both equally. I will not watch any college baseball this weekend.
No, I've got zero interest in the college baseball. I want our teams to do well, but I'm not going to sit and watch it. And I don't hate women's sports. I just don't consume them.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, Brown and I used to be side by side watching our daughters play volleyball.
That's right. Yeah,
now,
I love
that's
watching
the only.
that.
I'm all in if my kid's involved. But
I just
outside of that,
I don't consume women's basketball. I don't consume softball, fast pitch. I don't. But it doesn't mean I hate them.
I check baseball highlights every day, but as far as watching a game, I've watched 3 games.
Well, I haven't watched a major league game all year.
I've watched 3 games.
I mean, I've watched part of.
I'm probably about with you. I've watched parts of 15, 20 games, but sitting through a full 9 innings.
Well, I didn't make it start to finish. I think I picked it up 3rd or 4th inning. But
I
haven't.
3 games. Yeah, I mean, I've watched a few innings here and there.
I don't look, and I don't watch TikTok, but I do think that
no,
all
I do
of
watch
our,
that, Lance.
No, I'm just saying our attention spans. I mean, it's just not what it used to be.
Absolutely. What is undefeated, though, before we get to trash, is roller coaster videos these days. Forrester has pulled this up. 8 students rescued after being trapped on a roller coaster nearly 100 feet in the air for hours in Galveston, Texas yesterday. The riders on Iron Shark at Pleasure Pier were stuck in midair before rescue crews removed each student one by one. CBS affiliate KHOU with this video here and the report. KHOU.
My balls are tingling watching.
Well, I think at that
just
point,
watching the video.
Are your knees not locked? Like your legs are completely jelly. Like I don't know how. I don't know how you get out of that.
So they're standing.
No, but it looks like they're kind of.
They're laid back, but if the ride's doing normal, they're standing on the ride.
Yeah. But see, here's the deal. Until I saw this right here, I was about to say this is the way I would want to be rescued.
Negative. Coming down a fire ladder?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that I want the walking down like we've seen others in other videos in Trash and Before Trash. The walking down I couldn't do on my own. At least they got the basket here, but I didn't know at some point I had to walk down a ladder.
Yeah, that's a pretty high ladder too, my man. Now they're tied off. You can tell they're tied off, but I don't do it every day like the fireman does.
Yeah, no, I thought it was just they were scooping me up, cradling me like
come
a
on,
baby,
little fella.
setting me in a basket, and then basking me down to the ground. But that's not what they're doing there.
Oof.
Oh, no, thank you. I can say right now,
you're not riding a roller coaster.
I don't think
this
I'll
summer.
ever be on a roller coaster ever again.
Ever again.
Oh, I won't either. Yeah. Never liked them to begin with.
I think our infrastructure in our country has gone to hell in a handbasket to the point that we don't even take care of our amusement parks anymore.
What have we become as a nation?
You can't buy a refrigerator that'll last more than 3 years.
That's right.
Sure as hell not gonna.
We're repealing all these drinking water ordinances. Our drinking water, which used to be the best in the world, now you can't even trust your drinking water. I mean, not in Shelby County, obviously. Commissioner in here. Let's get to trash, brought to you today by our great friends at Odie's, LT.
Odie's Tavern, great place to check out live music tonight, tomorrow night. If you're looking for a place for Game 7, Western Conference Finals, you can watch it right there at Odie's, inside or outside on that great patio. Fantastic food for almost 40 years now. Just a great place to go. It's a Birmingham institution, 2 locations, one in Crestline, the original, newest location right there in Edgewood. Get in and see Will Laver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
We will foul the living shit out of you. We'll foul a 3-point shooter. We'll foul at the end of the clock. We'll leave our feet on drives. We'll reach. You describe the foul, and the team that I'm coaching will commit it.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The weekend is here. Pick up some cold, delicious Bud Light. I start first with an article I came across today. A crocodile that has killed more than 200 people, Gustav.
How do we know this?
Nile crocodile, I will give you. It's said to be linked to more than 200 deaths in Burundi. For decades, massive reptile has been the subject of local stories, failed capture attempts, and intense fascination from wildlife experts. Now, he is known by locals as Man-Eater, and that's because he is behind at least over 200 fatal attacks. Now, they say that Gustav doesn't always eat his victims. Oftentimes, he'll just kill them and simply abandon the bodies.
So
that's just wasteful.
Got his nickname in the 90s They have come across, he has been shot 3 different times. He is pushing 100 years old right now due to the estimated size. And he is so big that they say that he's over 20 feet long and 200 pounds or 2,000 pounds, that he's gotten so big that he can't hunt smaller prey like antelope. He goes after animals like hippos, buffalo, and sadly people.
Oh, so we got photos of the man-eater?
Yeah, I just did a quick, I was like, this is going to be a story LT stumbled across. This is not going to be real. And I just asked the robot, Gustav, real or not real? And it pops up, documented real, a mixture of facts and local folklore.
Okay, so we got some local folklore.
Yeah, I mean, 200 might be exaggerated.
Well, they say it killed over 300 people here, so you may have the facts. I may have the folklore here. Massive male Nile crocodile.
You think Hall & Oates song's popular over there?
Did you say
is that Man-Eater?
Man-Eater. You think they play that in Burundi?
Did you have him weighing over a ton?
Yeah.
A
2,000
ton?
pounds. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. A big old crocodile.
Yeah. I mean, he's been shot 3 times they know of.
Wow. Bad neighborhood.
Horrible name. Patricia Fay studied him in the 1990s and the 2000s. Her official title, she was a French herpetologist, which to me would study herpes. But
Ma'am, I am so sorry I misunderstood.
Yeah. Herpetologist.
But if you could tell me who could answer all my questions, I would greatly appreciate it.
Next, country in Europe offering up a free holiday so travelers can taste some of their most iconic foods, and it's actually pretty simple to enter. Now, over the last few years, plenty of places across the world have offered travelers a chance to get a free trip. These typically come with a pretty big catch, like you might only be there for a day, or you've got to chip in with some other form of work. However, Finland is currently trying to get people to visit for free. And you'll even get to sample some of their most iconic meals. Now, the idea comes from Finland's official tasting program, which naturally aims to boost tourism in the country. But they're giving one traveler and a guest the chance to go free. You just have to submit a video on social media as per Travel Pirates. One winner and a guest will be able to choose from 2 all-expenses-paid trips to Finland. One will see you jet into Lapland for an autumn feast, while the other takes you to Turku, Finland's oldest city. You can select either experience with the food options varying depending on which one you choose. Deadline for application June 9th, with the winners being announced on June 29th.
Forrester, can you give me the Odys?
It does look like that.
When I glanced up, I thought to myself, I was like, are we doing an Odys ad?
Finland stole our ads.
I mean, what are the foods here? I see the rolled pretzel.
Yeah. Is that a cinnamon roll bottom left?
Is that kind of a crab bisque?
Oh, it is a rolled pretzel.
Well, I think bottom left is rolled pretzel.
Yeah, but I was off on that.
Middle right, quesadilla, kind of?
Yeah, kind of.
What is far right?
Top, bottom...
Bottom right square.
Looks like a.
It looks like an old ashtray you clean out.
I found the article that Tyler pulled this from. So we're going to try to place all these. Reindeer stew.
Reindeer stew appears to be
middle left.
Middle left.
That's a hard pass.
Finnish salmon soup.
That's going to be
top left.
Top salmon
and
soup.
I have to create an account to read the full story.
Don't worry about
the Finnish squeaky cheese is number 3. That's the last
squeaky cheese.
I'm going to say
that's
bottom right.
Bottom right. Yep.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I'm going to say it's the one with the jam.
Yeah, I'm going to say that too.
I thought that was a quesadilla.
No, it's shaped like a quesadilla, but you're probably right. Yeah. A group of Thai police officers have gone viral after disguising themselves as female dancers to arrest a suspected drug dealer. Now, photos shared across social media show 5 cops and 1 woman dressed in sequin dresses posing beside a handcuffed suspect.
I mean, the worst episode of Dancing with the Stars ever.
I mean, my God, how did he fall for this? I got to hear the story.
Now, the police are said to have chosen their eye-catching attire to approach the suspect without raising suspicion.
No, I would not be suspicious at all.
And it looks like it worked. Now, following the arrest of the male target, authorities reportedly seized 53 meth pills, more than 200 plastic bags, and a mobile phone linked to an unauthorized online gambling operation. Suspect now faces charges for possessing Category 1 narcotics for sale and operating an illegal online slot machine service. It doesn't really go into, how they pulled this off.
I like that they basically said, the rest of y'all can dress up. We're only going to need Jenny in the blue dress.
Yeah.
Jenny wear that low-cut blue dress. He'll fall for it every time, I promise. He won't even notice the others.
It's like the guy showed up. What was that old fantasy draft commercial when he showed up? He said, "What?" He dressed in his fantasy outfit.
I misunderstood.
Next prom season, Brown. That's your calendar shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take the red dress.
Yeah, that's insanity there. There's got to be a playoff. I'm trying to think of a playoff of Ocean's 11 here, but I can't think of it. So go ahead.
Penis
I could, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh, okay.
Police department successfully tracked down the owner of a creepy clown animatronic after officers shared a viral Facebook appeal asking if anyone recognized the nightmare-inducing figure.
How do we put this in the clown category? I'm not a herpetologist, but I don't see how this is in the clown category.
I bet they don't like you to focus so much on the
outside
herpes.
of the red on the cheeks and the crazy red hair.
This reminds me, in the infancy and the early days of our company, we were looking for a place to do this show. And there was a home for sale. It was a very large home that would have made an incredible set for us. And we were looking at buying the house and just turning it into our company, basically. And somebody said, you got to go to the basement and see what they did in the basement. And they had basically...
Well, they had a figure set up.
It was a haunted basement. And the figure, in my mind, reminded me of something like this.
Yeah, it wasn't this...
in the dark.
This creepy, I would say. Now, this is the oversized black eyes, bright red hair, cracked face lined with sharp teeth. Now, in the original Facebook post, police joke, quote, if this belongs to you or if you recognize it from your nightmares, please contact us to arrange pickup. The department added, all jokes aside, if anyone knows where the puppet came from, contact the station. Now, following the post going viral, comments managed to identify the puppet as Bobby Strings.
Oh, Bobby Strings.
Sold by Spirit Halloween and other horror realtors or retailers.
I would tell you, LT, if you'd have just said, Jim, what am I looking at? With all the props and the red hair, I'd say another bad plastic surgery for Carrot Top is what I would have said.
Yeah.
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
This thing's 7.5 feet tall, by the way.
Wow.
Whoa, boy, playing the NBA.
Bobby Strings, good name, though, if your name is Bobby and you can shoot the hoop.
Oh,
Bobby Strings.
Kick it out to Bobby Strings. He's open.
Bobby Strings,
I was
3
thinking
more.
musician.
Yeah, well, you got a Billy Strings. That's an actual musician.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
And finally, a Thai skydiver performed skydive from a helicopter onto an active volcano, achieving world record for highest altitude landing of a skydive in the process.
Yeah.
Not even going to try. One of the longest names I've ever seen is this doctor. Can you flash his name on the screen? Insane. I'm going to say right now, just looking at it, between first and last name, 30 letters probably.
Yeah.
He's also known as Super Toon.
Oh,
Daredevil
Super Toon?
from Thailand in 2025 made the headlines for a jump from the highest altitude on record by a Thai citizen and for flying a record-breaking 150 square meter wide Thai national flag during it. Now, the 48-year-old university professor has already completed over 1,000 jumps. He performed his skydive jump, this one, from the helicopter, landed safely on a volcano almost 18,000 feet above sea level. The record has been certified by the Guinness World Records.
Got to say, if I'm going to try to do a land on a high altitude, it's probably not going to be a volcano. Now, that one did not look particularly active, but you never know when it's had a bad day.
I saw his name in there. It was.
I'm going to see if I can pause the GIF.
Okay.
Oh, it shows his name on the screen?
Yeah, you'll see it.
What'd you say his...
it says achieved by. It's coming up here.
What'd you say his nickname is? Dr. what?
Toon.
Dr. Toon?
Yeah.
Well, that's a big Thai flag he's got right there.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's one of the longest names I've ever seen.
It's like 40 characters.
Yeah. He's praying at least.
By the way, also not a big deal. You've got to go to 90th in scoring last year to find a Bobby or a Robert in college basketball. Robert Wright III with BYU was 90th in the country in scoring.
You mean Robert?
If you're looking for Bobby Strings.
Oh, Bobby Strings?
Yeah.
There it is.
So,
yeah.
I mean, Bobby Strings is open if you're a good basketball player. Did we get the name?
Yeah, Jay showed.
I mean,
okay.
Hey, Charles said, congratulations to this guy for doing this, but he's gay. Gay's blind. My apologies.
Yeah. At least this didn't get hit by a plane, his chute.
Oh, yeah. God,
Yesterday.
story.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing there. I mean,
Yep. And the plane's not going to hit you with that big of a flag.
What is this guy doing? Is that Dr. Toon?
It's got to be Dr. Toon. All right, that's the show today. Appreciate you guys being here with us. 9 a.m. on Monday, we're back with you. Enjoy your weekend. And don't forget to set up your official downloads on our Spotify, both video and audio over on Spotify. Thanks to those fine folks. At Next Round Live on all our social media platforms. And Next Round Live, our website as well, to check out our gear in the store there. Just a wonderful group of folks working in our store and on our website 24 hours, 7 days a week. We appreciate you guys so much. Back with you Monday. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.